the Darcy Street pitch, centre of James. Doing a balmy autumn afternoon. South Hobart Football Club would just like to give a special shout out to our sponsors. The amazing businesses around Tasmania. We're very grateful for their ongoing support. First of all, we've got Legends X. In 2016, we welcomed Legends X as our PS4 National Premier League sponsor. I'm happy to announce that following up from the 2016 sponsorship, we're going to commit to the just to sponsor. Hello, association with Legends X and South X and the
Welcome to the Theatre of Dreams, Darcy Street, for an NPL Tasmania blockbuster. It's South Hobart taking on the Olympia Warriors. This promises to be an absolutely cracking affair between two of the big guns of the competition. Just a point separating them at the top of the table. Devonport, of course, up there as well, but some major ramifications from this one. Joining me, Andrew Cooling, to talk through this one. We've got Paul Hunt on my right. Welcome, Funty.
Great game here today between two of the heavyweights in the NPL Taz. Both looking to go to top spot today, so it should be a good contest.
Indeed. Also, just sliding his way on through is the local, Jake Morgan. Welcome, Jake.
Welcome, mate. It's good to be here too. And I take notice that you've put me well away from those cords for this edition of our commentary at Darcy Street. It's a wise move.
Very wise move, I feel. It's going to be a massive game here today. Been anticipating this one for a little while. The battle of the Kennys, Morton v Western, and just a little extra spice added to the game by the revelation at the Friday presser that Kenny Western may have just been trying to poach a few South Hobart players. And a bit of a chat with a few of his former players he's worked with and try to get them across. The transfer deadline has now passed though, so they're staying put.
I love a bit of transfer deadline day gossip, Andrew Cooling, and yeah. It's great to see that from the Friday presser, and look, he did not deny it. To his credit, he said, he's looking for the best players. He's judging by the players he was down towards. He might have found a few weaknesses in his lineup. And
seem to be taking a few lessons from the Bayern Munich school of football operating right there. I think
just weaken your opposition.
That's it. Buy up the competition, and there is no competition.
Very clever. Well, those players have stayed put though, and we'll start with the home side, South Hobart, and go through their starting 11 today for this one. It's a very good lineup as always. In goals, number 1, Kieran Brown, the youngster who's come in for Graham Wright and just not put a foot wrong since taking over. The Frenchman, Luc Farrell, finds himself back in the starting lineup after being in and out through the early part of the season. He's settling in there and in some pretty good form. Number 3, Adam Gorry, enjoying a superb season at right back after making the move from Devonport. Number 11, Benjamin Hammertime Hamlet. He'll lead the line up top.
My man, Ben 10.
Ben 10.
Good to have him back.
He's had a few weeks on the sidelines, but back out there in an important part of this team. In the midfield, number 6, Kobe Kemp, one of the best players in the competition. Very smooth operator. And perhaps with Luke Farrell in the team, we might see him pushing on a little bit more today. Number 5, Hugh Ludford. He'll play at centre-back with number 14, Oscar Thomas. Dan Brown is injured, so it's going to be Ludford and Thomas at the back today. On their left, you'll have Liam Quayle, probably the best fullback in the competition. He's just an absolute star. And it's not too often a fullback gets in the Player of the Year voting, but I think he finished top 5 in the MVP last year, which is a real credit to just how much of an impact he can have in midfield. Speaking of making an impact, you've got Jack Turner returning, and he has just hit the ground running. Been amongst their best both times he's played, and he loves a goal. He's a physical presence. He has a real impact in the midfield brigade for South Hobart, and he'll be joined there perhaps by the Morthog, Nick Morton, favourite of ours, always makes something happen. Last time I was here watching him, scored a rather audacious bicycle in that great comeback over Zebras.
Mr. Cartwright line up today in the central midfield. I'm looking forward to the battle between him and the Morthog. It'll be a physical affair.
I think you're right with that. And then up top, probably playing on a wing today, Alex Walter. He's just dominated this year. He's been South Hobart's best player, I think it's fair to say. He's taken another leap and looking forward to seeing what he can do today. And on the bench, Jacob Brennan, Eduardo Castaneda, Ryan Cook and James Wilson. So some real youth on the bench for South Hobart today. What do we think of that lineup, boys?
I think it's pretty strong from South Hobart. They haven't had to make too many changes, especially throughout the last few weeks. I think Dan Brown's a big out at centre back with some good experience coming in.
I'm expecting big things from Oscar Thomas today, stepping into the shoes of Big Dogger Brown. He's a massive player for South Hobart, so they'll need a very big performance from him against a rampant Olympia team at times this year.
It'll also be interesting to see if they need that pace off the bench, which we saw to devastating effect last time up here at Darcy Street with that comeback win, with Brennan coming off the bench and having a huge impact in a lot of those that comeback, so that'll be interesting as well.
Moving on to the Warriors, and number 9, Shane Cartwright. He's slotted into the centre of midfield in recent weeks, where he's just been utterly dominant, the big fella. Number 22, Jacob Cole, will be the man between the sticks. He's been perhaps the goalkeeper of the season. If you're picking team of the year right now, I think he's been fantastic, as has the big mountain, Lucas Hill. Big task for him today, up against a dangerous South Hobart attacking lineup. Number 20, Jacob Lehman. Looking at the rest of the team selections, I think we might see him on a wing today rather than fullback. Of course, was that South Hobart early in the season. He's gone Olympia to South, back to the Warriors. One of the players that Kenny Weston was successful in getting back across, it would seem. Number 19, Thomas Little. I think he'll probably line up at right or left back, looking at that. Number 14, James McCarthy. Not Everton's fantastic Irishman, but a young Englishman who Weston's brought across and just dumped him straight in the starting lineup for their Crunch Cup semi-final last week. Apparently has an absolute cannon on him, so perhaps watch for the long-range hits from James McCarthy. In the midfield, you'll have Nick Mearns, who's he's warming into some form. Probably started the season a little slow, but seems to be getting back to his best and leading the lines. Speaking of the best, you've got Jakob Sklanaj, who's just been banging them in for fun, and he's going to be very, very important to the Warriors today if he can get on the end of some chances. He doesn't miss too often. Number 3, Paul Stevens, another one returning to the lineup. Can play at fullback or centre back. We'll wait and see where he lines up there. He'll be in there with Jake Vandermeer. So you'd imagine Stevens, Vandermeer, Little and Hill will be the back 4. I'm not sure how they'd line up.
What is the shout on my man Wadawu?
Warren Wadzawu, nowhere to be seen. It would appear from that time.
Rumoured to be injured, is the rumour floating around, but he seemed in good form last weekend, so yeah, a bit of an interesting.
Bloke I've ever seen lay on 7 assists, so I think they'll be missing him today.
Well, he played as a fullback last week, which was interesting, but yeah, I think he has picked up a knock in that big semi-final and not recovered, so he'll be out. Kiwandi will start on the left wing, and on the bench, Brayton Allen, Thomas Bellini, Mitchell Stalker and Mark Altman. So very much like South Hobart, if you're going to go to the bench, you're going to be turning to youth.
Yeah, but still quality on the bench as well. I mean, we've seen all of them start at this time of year and have a good impact. So, but yeah, I agree with you. Mr. Morgan, Cartwright v Morton in the centre of the park is going to be great. But at the other end, Sklanaj versus probably Thomas, I might think he'll line up directly, or he'll try to target in the centre back there. That's going to be an enthralling contest. And the one, slight criticism going around of Sklanaj, if you're going to pick hairs, is his record against the other top teams in the NPL as opposed to the ones down the bottom. So let's see if you can turn that on today in front of this big crowd building up here at Darcy Street.
It's a big crowd building today, isn't it, boys? Certainly lots of the locals getting out to get around this South Hobart side here today.
Yeah, just on the Sklanaj, if you would, the flat track bully suggestion some have gone with, which I just completely disagree with. He's not had many chances against the top teams because they don't play them that often. He scored last week in the semi-final against Devonport. He didn't score, but he was the best player on the field. He was absolutely outstanding up top, and didn't have a sniff week 1 against South Hobart. They never got the ball to him. Not sure you can really blame him for that. And apart from that, very small sample size.
Oh, look, it wasn't a purse. I wasn't necessarily agreeing with this suggestion. It's just
not at all, Paul. But there's been a bit of that out there.
There has been. It's been quite. You're not having it. First, turn it up, and we haven't even started the match yet.
Not having it. Can't be criticising the Czech superstar. You give him a chance, he'll put it away. Anyway, we'll see what he does today. It should be a cracking game. Your tips for this one, gentlemen?
Well, I was having a think on the walk in, and I did not have a clue then, and about 20 minutes later, I still don't have a clue. I will maybe just go with South Hobart, maybe by a goal. With the defensive lineups of both teams, I'm not expecting a very high-scoring game. I'm not expecting a 5-3 or anything drastic like that, but let's go 2-1 South Hobart.
I think I'll concur with you there, Funty, because I think they're going to find it a real benefit in playing on their home ground here today, being a bit wider in particular than Warrior Park. They'll really be able to spread their play around South Hobart. For that reason, I see them as largely controlling the play, and I think they'll get a 2-1 win.
Sure. Yeah, I do agree with you there, Jake, on that, and especially the pace that South Hobart have shown down the wings. When we were all last year at Darcy Street, we saw that coming off the bench with the likes of Brennan, and it was a big turnaround in that match as we see both teams starting to make their way out here. I saw Ken Morton as I was walking in. He's looking very, very relaxed today, just leaning up against the grandstand. No, not particularly.
Not a care in the world.
Yeah, look, he seemed very confident in his troops today.
We've got a really good record. Against South Hobart. They've unbeaten in their last 7 matches against them. They're on a pretty good winning streak. Swept them last year, won the season opener this year, and historically throughout the league since the switch to the full state league, they've really had their number, and I think probably will go into this one as slight favourites, despite sitting a point off in 3rd place at the moment. But really, with 2 teams like this, they've both got match winners out there. It's the old cliche, who's going to turn up on the day and perform? Because both teams more than capable, loaded with attacking talent, and I think they're 2 teams that like to play an attractive style of game, and it could be an absolute ripper this afternoon, I think, fellas.
I'm still not. I'm not expecting any, I guess, of the long ball we've seen previously. With Olympia, it's interesting in the talk the last 2 weeks since Western's taken over. The talk of wanting that wider pitch, obviously, was one of the reasons behind the Lake of Seljuk Cup move today.
As we just see Kenny Weston down there, all smiles.
He loves
this big game.
He's chomping at the bit, Kenny Weston.
On this wider pitch that he seems to love so much for it suits his style of play. I wonder if he can get the full effects out of that today.
Not quite the KG5 dimensions, but certainly better than Warrior Park, perhaps, for his side. But
the hockey field.
A great surface, this one at Darcy Street. Always is, and really looking forward to seeing what both teams produce. And Kenny Weston, as I say, just chomping at the bit to get in this one yesterday. It was a real sense of anticipation.
I'll tell you, just on those dimensions, it was something fascinating that I found out, that a field hockey pitch's dimensions, the minimum dimensions are actually bigger than a football pitch, which I found out the other day at Olympia Park. So, bit of fun trivia for you there, listeners.
The stats man, Jake Morgan, bringing it out early.
Yeah, he's bringing out his pitch measurement. How long's the Darcy Street pitch, Morgan?
Oh, couple, 100 yards, around that.
So, a bit of a
Don't have
delay.
my measuring stick out here, Cooley.
Bit of a delay to kick off. Not entirely sure why, but we're not too far away for a start. The players appear in readiness, maybe just waiting on the officials for this one, but it's a pretty fine day for football. Clear skies, sun is out for now.
Don't think we'll have that rainbow rain sun shower phenomenon we had last time. It's a much more better day here today.
No, looking beautiful autumn day here.
You're the local here, Jake. Meteorologist report. I mean, if you're on the stats, what's the weather report looking like up here in South Hobart?
I've had a look up at the mountain today, and I don't think we'll be getting any rain during this fixture. I think it's a large amount of stratocumulus out there today, and being very big on my meteorology, I'm pretty certain that we won't see any rain here today, and that'll play into the hands of these very crisp teams.
I like that you go with the locals' definition of just looking at the mountain. I think that's...
You get a feeling.
Yeah,
There's
you do.
no doubt.
You certainly do, as we see the teams, referees, the match manager getting ready down there on the halfway line.
And the mullet of justice is out today. Isn't that fantastic to see, listeners?
Of justice. You've changed him up, haven't
Well,
you?
he's a mullet of infallibility and the mullet of justice. It's just marvellous. There's nothing better than seeing that flow up and down the touchline.
Well, would you prefer that one or undies from Knights in terms of mullet, which you seemed to love a bit last week there, Coolin?
Oh, that was That was Huey Foley.
Hugh
wasn't it?
Foley, sorry.
You've thrown me there. Hugh Undy, I've not seen Sporting
Hugh
the moment.
Foley, Hugh Undy, you know.
Look,
getting my Hughes mixed up.
I'm going Foley. That celebration was fantastic, and his brother pouncing upon him. I think someone suggested it was like a lion hunting its prey, and jeez, it was. Just launch. Speaking of lions, how about Kingborough last night in the opening game?
That was a cracker of a goal, wasn't it, from Danny Cohen?
Just goes bang from halfway, if you don't mind.
And he did go bang. Looking at the first shot of it, I could barely see how he'd gotten his foot to it, and boom, it was in the goal.
Well, the fact he got the ball was a surprise as well. But yeah, we're talking off there. I played a lot of youth football with Danny Cohen, and I think for me, he has not scored a better goal than that ever, as Thunderstruck once again blares out of Darcy Street.
It's just what I want to get pumped up for a game of football. A bit of Thunderstruck pumping out at Darcy Street. And it signals that we're not far away from getting underway at Darcy Street. The horns going off at the ground here. It's a good atmosphere at the ground. Everyone's up and about for this one. The
Vuvuzelas come out, I believe. Shades of South Africa.
Oh, bring me back, 2010. One a lot more tolerable than 90,000, it must be said. But I think as we prepare to kick off today, I don't know if it's just the vibe I'm getting from the home ground here, but I'm going to tip the South Hobart 2-1 today, boys.
You're not sitting on the fence for once.
Oh, I'm off the fence.
Oh, that's what I like to see.
I think I think the Warriors are going to get stronger as the year goes on. I think this is their best chance to get them. They've had the wood over them. I think they'll take the chocolates today.
As a hardened contrarian, I'm going to completely undermine what I said earlier and say that Olympia are going to win 2-1 then.
Punty?
South Hobart, let's go 2-0.
2-0. Well, we're just about ready to go. Lucas Hill strides to the middle there, the big mountain.
I think we're going to see Sklenage with a little bit too much to deal with for old Thomas out there today.
I think the key will be getting the supply to him. If they can provide him with chances, he doesn't miss, and he'll smack them in the back of the net. South Hobart going to need to disrupt them. I just think the Warriors might need a few weeks before Kenny Weston's game plan and change in style really sets in. He's set on record that the fitness of the group isn't where it needs to be to play his style of game.
Now, how does George Mamarcus react, do you think, if they drop themselves from the top of the table after sacking the coach while they were in first place?
Well, it was the round one game between these two teams that was apparently the catalyst for Ian Shaw's dismissal, but I'd be stunned if anything was to happen to Mr. Weston off the back of this one. I think that's a long-term project, as much as anything can be that. I think I'd be very surprised, as good a story as it will be, if we saw another coaching change there.
There'll be a few people who might be feeling a bit of mirth after, if that one happens to go down today.
No doubt, but... well, we've had the toss. We're just going to change ends here, and then we are about to get underway. Absolutely chomping at the bit to get into this one. It's a point between the sides at the top of the table. The Warriors on top, South Hobart in third. That could all change, of course. Devonport taking on Launceston City as we speak. Albert Valley Road. We'll keep you updated with that one as we go along, but the focus very much here at Darcy Street as Sklenage gets the ball at his feet. And we are ready for kickoff at last. And off we go, the dummy. Well, Hammer Tom Hamlet started in their half, but does it really matter? No, let's go. Mearnsey with a bang average pass to start things off there. Just sprays it out of play, and the locals enjoying that one. Just losing his footing there was Mearns. And I think his day can only get better from there, as Walter takes it under pressure from Tommy Little, who seems to be lining up at right back with Jake Vandermeer seemingly in at left and Hill and Stevens centrally. So when you've got four nominal centre-backs, it was going to be interesting to see how they lined up. And it appears to be as such Lehman, as we suggested, starting on the left wing for the Warriors.
Very much the, I think it was Belgium 2014 World Cup lineup where they had Jan Vertonghen out at right back. Seems to be following shades of that there from Olympia, but good height and still good speed from all their players today. As we see, ball forward into the area of Sklenage, who's held off big ranging Thomas well, but just couldn't quite get that through ball to anyone in particular. That's going to be a fascinating battle today as we see Quayle. Pass ball forward, been intercepted by Cartwright and then just a bit misplaced on the return ball there.
Luke Farrell sitting deepest for South Hobart, and Kemp pushing up a little bit there. Jack Turner just in behind Ben Hamlet. So check out how the teams settle into this one. This is going to be blocked off as Little looks to overlap, and he infringes. And South Hobart will get the free kick there.
And certainly Benny Hamlet staying very high up top, right on the centre backs, especially on Stevens, and we've seen the Morthog kind of drift left, but also central as well. So maybe a bit more of a fluid attacking formation from South Hobart today.
Yeah, I think Turner Kemp for roles in midfield 3, so it'll be an attacking role for Morton in that front 3 that the old man usually rolls out for them, but has been dropping in a little centrally early on in this one as Undy tries to make headway down the flank. Out of there by the Frenchman. Now Walter holding off the attention of Tommy Little, and then a raking crossfield ball is fantastic in the Gorrie direction. He charges inside and then threads it through. Kobe Kemp now across to the Morthog. Promising build up. Stevens across, and behind it goes for the first corner of the game.
Yeah, nice attacking build up there from South Hobart. We're seeing the Morthog push on, very much supporting Hamlet, who's, I guess, the nominal number 9. It's, good signs from South Hobart to start with, as we see one of the best dead ball specialists in the competition, Kobe Kemp, over this corner.
Kemp chipping in the middle of the box. Cole collects comfortably. He's very good in the air, Jacob Cole. He's been a very reliable custodian for the Warriors this season. He's done the job well. Here's their new recruit, James McCarthy, who knocks it forward. Cut out there by the Frenchman. And Ludford back to Quayle. Direct approach from him, but eludes Hamlet through to Cole. No, I'm not sure that's the approach that we're looking to take today, knocking long balls to Hamlet up against the likes of Stevens and Hill. Classy turn from Mearns, and his pass almost there for Vandermeer. Couldn't quite track it down. And that's what Mearns can do.
That's a great turn from Mearns there, just completely opened up the entire left side here with that turn. But yeah, I can't imagine, especially given Morton's preferred style of play, too many long balls up to Hamlet, especially against the tall timber of the mountain hills. We see a bit of space opening up wide here. So Walter, 1v1 with Little, cuts inside, and a sliding challenge from Undy, and that's, I don't think it's going to be a slice of cheese, but it's certainly going to be a good talking to only 4 minutes into the match.
Yeah, I think that is what saved him there, probably the fact that we are only 4 minutes
wide
into
here,
the match.
so Walter,
it was very late, that challenge, and
Little
that's
cuts
just a
inside,
little
a
bit reckless, but he's just been given the chance to get a talking to rather than seeing our first slice of cheese here.
Yeah, good refereeing, just saying, you know, settle down. Just give him a nice early warning, and we'll see what South Hobart can do from this free kick.
Just got Kemp looking over the top of the ball, looking quite threatening here.
As you predicted, there's the Morthog on Cartwright as well. Some of the great tall timber matchups as we see the ball. Nice ball whipped in, but right under the chest of Cole, who looks for the early release in the direction of Sklenage. Lets the ball bounce. It's a nice clearing defence there from Ludford. Got Gorrie down the wing, but Vandermeer heads that one clear. Cartwright, nice bit of skill. Hoofs that one forward to in the direction of Sklenage. Nice chest down. Undy running through. And then eventually cleared, and Kemp on the ball. Now we see Morton. Gorrie's still up in his own attacking half. Looking for that crossfield ball in the direction of Walter. So he gets there, but just a miscontrol. And we see Ben Hamlet pick it up in the box and looks in the middle there to Walter. A great save from Cole. Double save, in fact. We'll see Little eventually clear the ball, and Cole has stayed down after that follow-up from Walter there. That's a great shot on target, though.
He's copped quite a kick to his hand just there, I think, the Olympia goalkeeper, and he's going to be feeling quite a bit of pain after that double save, keeping his side in it. And wasn't it just some marvellous work from the man?
Yeah, recovered really well to claw the rebound away. He made the initial stop, and sitting there, Walter followed up.
Double save, in fact. We'll see Little eventually
pulled it away, puts it away, and now gets a little bit of treatment. I think he'll be all right. But a crucial save, and just opened up there, the Warriors early on.
Always worrying those kind of ones for goalkeepers. An easy way to break your finger or something like that. Seems to be shaking it off, though, and getting back into the game, which is fantastic news for everybody involved. South get it going again, and Farrell looks inside, but all Olympia there. As the ball's played forward to Sklenage, who tries to head it out wide, but it's intercepted by Gorrie. South get back on the ball, but a poor pass is played there. Ball's dropped in behind to Walter. What can he do against Little? Shaping up now, looks to get onto his right boot, but well defended. It gets an overlap from Quayle, but very well defended there by the Olympia defender. I think it was the Mountain.
The Mountain's going to head those clear all day of the week.
Stooping low, certainly living more up to the name of Hill there.
Yeah, it was getting down there, just shrunk a little, but he'll be a towering presence in the middle of this Warriors defence today. I think a real key for them at the back. He brings real leadership as Gorry trots across to Ken Morton for a few words, and the corner has swung in near post, and look, there was Oscar Thomas.
The old ping pong machine in there for a little while.
Swung it in, side netting, and Cole can take the relieving goal kick, but asking some questions there, and young Oscar Thomas looking to get involved. Promising defender, has probably not had as many opportunities over the past couple of seasons as you might expect, with the quality in centre backs that South have had. Ludford, Brown, Matty Lewis last year. He's probably been starved for opportunities a little bit, but starting to play a bit more often, and he's a player of considerable promise as Burns is brought down rather unceremoniously. He's still down and playing
some
on as the
interpretive dance from the man there. There was not a lot in that.
He's getting back to his feet now. Is Burns starved for opportunities a little bit. Have a look on replay there. Play a bit more often, and he's a player of considerable promise as Burns.
Contact,
mate.
It's the jump that I don't like. You don't jump up when you've just been whacked.
I think that's usually a good indicator you're going to be all right to continue. Adam Gorry with the throw in here. South Hobart's favourite ranger. Kobe Kemp wraps his foot round. A lovely turn there from Hamlet. He got around Hill, but Stevens was in support. That was sharp from Ben 10, but the Olympia defence do their job. Good ball from Kemp. And look at the control from Ben Hamlet. Turned away from Hill, but Stevens covering well as good defensive partnership will.
Yeah, absolutely, and that was a very similar turn to how Schlanage scored a few weeks ago. Lovely silky turn in the box. Seems to be a goal kick there for Olympia, maybe just a deflection off Hamlet as the ball went out. We'll see it taken short again to Stevens and back to Cole. Probably look to go under pressure from Hamlet and eventually launches it clear. Right to the head of Morthog. Eventually cleared there, and Cartwright picks the ball up. Looking wide, and Quayle should be under that and is. Just heads that one out for a throw in under good pressure there from Undy.
Certainly is seeming to play out kind of as we predicted it in the beginning here, boys. South Hobart certainly enjoying a bit of space, and they've had the majority of the possession and majority of the position so far, so certainly some good shouts in this pre-game from you boys.
Oh, look, we try not to be too expert here, but as we see, Quayle with a nice defensive clearance there.
Certainly seeing the ball get bogged down on this far side of the pitch a little bit, though, over the last couple of minutes.
See the throw in. Taken back to Undy, who looked across at him, and it's a low ball, comfortably cleared, and Ben Hamlet picks the ball up. Morton on with Walter streaming down the left wing. I think Stevens should come across to clear that up, and he does. Plays it back to the keeper. Launches it forward in the direction of Cartwright, but under hit, ends up with Mearns. Nice midfield battle there. Lloyd Farrell picks the ball up, and now nice foot race down here between Gorry, and that's nothing
Lehman
given there between Lehman and Gorry.
Nah, well done. Just goes
Nice
in front,
defending,
Lehman.
just covering across. Farrell plays the ball into Kemp, who looks for Morton. Late challenge, and eventually that's given. The South Hobart bench were up very quickly with that one.
Yeah, right in front of them. They weren't going to let that one be missed as we have a look. And
I love the push here from Ludford. Oh, rather, Kemp, sorry.
Clipping him late there was
Here
Sonny
go.
Little.
And he gives him a bit.
He's in the barge afterwards. Don't you hack me down, son, he says. And now Adam Gorry will take the set piece. Got a few to pick out in the box here. What will Gorry produce? He puts it right to the back post, and Cole should be able to claim. He does so comfortably, so
Yeah, he
just delivery that.
He just started his run up into the strike of the ball and unfortunately got a little bit ahead of himself and hesitated and hit a poor ball.
Cole can collect this one. The through ball from Quayle just over hit. South Hobart have started the brighter of the two teams through 10 minutes as the Mountain plays back to his keeper. Just the one opening so far. A good double save by Cole to deny the lively Walter. And that one is a bit sloppy out from the back, and Little can't track it down. South Hobart with another chance, and they're going to push men forward, really look to dial up the pressure early.
We've seen Little and Vandermeer swap sides already in the first 10 minutes, so Kenny Weston already ringing the tactical changes.
Yeah, indeed. Lovely little ball there through Kemp. And Stevens, as he put it behind for a corner.
Oh, lovely pressure there from Ben Hamlet to earn his side a corner.
Just making
Really
sure of it.
Showing good speed and really good harassing of the opposition there too, which we love to see.
And Quayley's just given the signal to Kemp and said, I'll have this one. He's going to trot across and smack one in there. I wonder if we'll see the variation. I've seen this before where Kemp just sits at the top of the box and they try and work it in for the shot. So he's being watched closely by McCarthy. What's Quayle going to do? He's going to go with the left foot. Very much a two-footed player, Liam Quayle. A real asset of his. He's going to swing this one in near post. Through a second bodies, a punch up by Hamlets. 1-0 South Hobart. Ben Hamlet opens the scoring. It's gone through a sea of bodies and Hammertime pounces.
Well, I'm not sure how that's gone right into the 6-yard box there, but Hamlet, right place, right time. That's exactly where you want your number 9 to be. And Benny Hamlet.
I think I'd call that failing to deal with the corner, boys, because it's probably not the best delivery, and Cole's just allowed that to just slip right out into the front centre of the goal, and Hamlet has said thank you very much and gobbled up another strike for him this year.
He's certainly been one of the best keepers in the league this year, Jacob Cole, but I think he'd like that one back.
Yeah. Not dealt with, was it?
No, it wasn't, and Ludford clears away. Morton forward towards Kemp. Nice turn, but good defence there from Little and Mearns. Getting that second man in who looks wide. 2 Undy. He's got Quayle for company. Nice ball inside, but Walter tracking back. Just gives it to Ludford on his wrong foot. Nice header from Cartwright. See the Mountain plays it to Paul Stevens. Look wide to Little. Been the most played pass so far today. Stevens to Little, and that's good defence there from Gorrie. Just gives Little, or Lehman I should say, a bit of an elbow, and that's a great battle between Thomas and Schlenage. The free kick this time goes in the Olympia strikers' direction. And
that is pinning the defender with your elbow, isn't it?
It is.
Just turning them. That's marvellous work there from Schlenage to earn his team a free kick.
And it's now Mearns' time. We can see what he does here from the free kick. Sure about the angle. He may look top corner, but the tall timber of Olympia is coming up, so he's got a few options here, and he's actually walked away, and it's the new man, Mr. McCarthy, on it over the dead ball.
So I was told midweek he was banging him in from distance.
He's been giving the eyes to that top left corner of the goal here, so I think that is where he'll be looking.
Yeah, I think we can probably expect a shot from McCarthy, and he curls it straight at the keeper. Disappointing in the end, and comfortably held by Brown. And they need to do better than that with the set pieces. Gorrie carries the ball out down the line for the Morthog. He goes. Mearns for company. Seen away from him.
Good defending there from Lehman. Morton maybe just could have had a touch and had the ball in better control, but the ball's now it's Gorrie.
Got a bit frantic there for a couple of minutes after that goal, didn't it?
It did a bit. As you see the ball looking forward. The Mountains, sorry, that's Little that's cleaning that one up. Nice midfield battle again. Morton down the right wing. Again cleared by Little. It's a great battle down this side. It seems that South Hobart, I'm not sure it's deliberately, but the first 15 minutes they've really been targeting whatever side of the pitch Thomas Little's on. He's had his hands full today. See Morton with the extravagant, extravagant. Nick Morton with the ball, nice steal. Plays it back to Big Thomas.
Was some acrobatic clearance work down there.
Yeah,
Funty, didn't mind it.
Left me stumbled for words, that did, as we see Gorrie pick up the ball, but nicely intercepted from Little.
Tell you what, we might need the close-up on Gorrie Salad. Some serious work going in there. Loving the work from Darcy Street's favourite ranger. Really just donned the new salad today.
But it's a better thread count than Egyptian cotton sheets up there, mate. He's certainly got a very luscious set of hair going.
See,
very well crafted as this one's turned in and behind it goes for a corner. So we have another look at this Mearns clearance.
Oh,
very nice.
Technique.
We've seen a couple of weeks ago a bicycle kick ended up being an own goal that did the rounds on the internet, so I'm glad Mearns didn't end up like that as we see the ball taken in from the corner. Hamlet rises, but Cartwright gets there, and Gorry should clean that up and put it back in the mixer, which he does. It's a looping ball. Cole comes out, but Thomas is there. Eventually cleared by Olympia, but only as far as Farrell, who plays it out wide to Quayle. He's got a good cross on him, Quayle, and delivers in. Morton's
beautiful.
there. Burke gave it 10. South Hobart 2-0 already.
And it's Jack Turner with a towering header there. And what a ball that was into the box from Mr. Quayle out there on the left-hand side. Just absolutely nothing that they could do, the Olympia Warriors defence there. Marvellous ball, marvellous finish.
He's talking him up as he delivered it in. It's an absolutely beautiful looking ball. Jack Turner still up there from the corner. He had acres of space. Beautiful header away from Cole. No chance for the keeper there.
And can we just say marvellous camera work too, because you can't get a better shot of that goal than we just saw there. Beautiful work.
Absolutely outstanding from both Luster and Jack Turner. And South Hobart with a 2-goal lead early doors here. Stunning stuff. The Warriors a little bit shell-shocked perhaps. It's been a bright start from South Hobart. And that man, Jack Turner, what an impact he's had since coming back into the side. He's played 3 games now and has been outstanding in all of them. It's Kenny Weston on the edge of his technical area, getting rather vociferous down there. And
rather big, larger finger pointing there at his own players there. It's not what you usually want to see after 20 minutes. Shows the pressure that South Hobart is continuing to put on here as Stevens has to play all the way back to his keeper. Just misses the foot of Hamlet there. The Mountain picks it up. I haven't had to call much of Jack Turner today, but he was certainly in the right spot at the right time there. What a wonderful addition he's been to South Hobart.
He's the cork in the ocean. He just bobs up. The midfielder just freakishly scores goals all the time. Real Cahill type stuff. Yeah. He would just come from midfield. They bugger all except for snaps on people's legs, and then bang. He's hit the scoreboard harder than he hits the legs. He's a dynamic player, and South Hobart have looked better with him in the team, it has to be said.
Yeah, he's certainly playing that box-to-box central midfielder role very well, and I mean, just from a tactical point of view, it allows Morton and Walter to be a lot freer, but yeah, then he can pop up for some goals. What more do you want?
I've just been so impressed by the way that this South Hobart midfield 3 has worked today too. In particular, every single time somebody's coming up to pressure one of the Olympia players, got one of the other central midfielders rather, dropping in to cover the space. In particular, the work of Loic Farrell. We saw him get brought on at half-time in the 3-0 win, I think it was, on the opening day. And he really turned things around for South Hobart at Warrior Park. And I think he's certainly having a big influence today, just cutting out that space for Olympia to work with.
Well, they've not really produced much, have they, the Warriors? They keep breaking down in the final third. Farrell tracking back a big part of that, but it's been rather disjointed from the Warriors in the opening 20. They're not looking particularly switched on, as this one's long in the Kemp direction over the head of Little. Stevens just worked under it a little there, and then a swinging boot is collected. Morton comes through, wins it now. He's off to the races, tearing off down the right. He's got Turner and Hamlet to pick out in the middle, but instead he finds the hands of Jacob Cole, who gets things moving quickly. Andy sold his teammate short there, though. And South Hobart straight back on the ball. Kobe Kemp looking ahead, assessing his options, and spreads it to Gorry, and Morton just overhit the return ball, but those combinations down the right are causing some problems.
I'd love to see a heat map of this first 20 minutes. It has been all down South Hobart's end.
I think there'd be a bushfire on the South Hobart end, to be honest, Andy, if we were getting a heat map involved.
It's been all one-way traffic in the first 20 minutes here at Darcy Street. We see Little with the throw in, Mearns with the flick over the head, kept in, effectively cleared by Gorry. Nice touch there from South Hobart's bench as well. So Little look forward in the direction of Sklanage, who just heads it into the first row. I'm not sure if it's just a warning from Kenny Weston to his players on the field, but the Olympia subs have gone for a jog and a warm-up already.
Well, we've seen him pull the trigger on an early sub already in his tenure, but they're going to need to find something, because the opening 20 minutes has been all South Hobart. And they've looked the better team against the ladder leaders. Gorry curling in the Kemp direction. And back to Morton, punches it down the line beautifully for Adam Gorry. They've been 2 of South Hobart's best early. Gets his head up and runs at Stevens. Cuts inside. No left foot though, unfortunately, and his pass broken up. McCarthy tracks back. Mearns. Lehman. Oh, that was aimless. He's just butchered that one straight to Jack Turner, all on his own in the bullseye. Spread it across to Walter. Looking to run at Vandermeer. Plenty of Olympia shirts here. He ran into trouble, then Hill stumbled. Real scrap for the ball. Eventually towed out of there, but Jack Turner recycles back to Quayle. Ships it forward. Offside was Kobe Kemp, so he's just got to come back into an onside position. But the Warriors just unable to keep a hold of the ball at the moment. Every time they push into South Hobart's half, they're being robbed of it.
I think they've had the one shot on target so far this game, and it was that free kick from the new man McCarthy, which really did not threaten.
Little down the line, again broken up. This South Hobart midfield just disrupting and pressuring them and just blanketing the Warriors at the moment. Lehman has lost it again. Ferrell back to Huey Ludford. He goes down the line for Hamlet. A little touch there, and then again Gorry on the overlap. He won't be able to track this one down though. It's out of play, but
you can certainly see what South Hobart are trying to do down this right wing. And the play before, there's about 20 consecutive passes, all from the keeper out to the forward area. And another thing I've just noticed is that when Mearns is on the ball, Nick Morton, or at least a South Hobart centre is not far away. They're clearly trying to pressure Mearns at every opportunity. As we see the ball played inside and no foul given on Jack Turner from Cartwright. And we see Olympia looking to break here. And a great tackle there from Farrell and kept in. And then ends up winning a throw-in. 2v1. And that's got a nice round of applause from the crowd here at Darcy Street.
Beautiful stuff there. That's what you want to see from a defensive midfielder.
You see the ball played forward to Schlenage. He's now got Ludford for company. Gorry coming over. Still teasing Gorry. Eventually gets it forward to Undy. Plays it forward. And again to no one really in particular. And that's the South Hobart throw-in.
Every time an Olympia Warrior player gets the ball, they're surrounded by shirts. They have been absolutely tenacious, South Hobart. They are pressuring them just frenetically, and the Warriors aren't dealing with it at all well. Undy, one of their key movers, has barely seen it. Cartwright's had minimal influence on the game, and South Hobart just really forcing the turnovers.
Almost thought you said they were pressuring them phonetically for a second there, Cooley. Would have been an interesting shout.
It would have been interesting. Here's Schlenage. Can he get him behind? The Warhorse Ludford across to deal with him, and deal with him he does. But his clearance wasn't so good. Went straight down the throat of Mearns, who tried the return pass to Schlenage. That was ill-advised because Gorry was there. And now hammer time, Hamlet away for South Hobart. Just sold Turner a little short. Lucas Hill jumps up into the play, sliding back. The Morthog Morton, who's still soldiering on against Hill, and he's won them all away. Cartwright couldn't rob Hamlet on it. Skips around one, couldn't skip around Hill, who surely handballed it, but allowed to play on.
Tell you what, it's not the most silkiest passing game, but that's the tenacity you love here in the NPL Taz. Great midfield battle between these two teams as we see Lehman on the ball out wide. Walter tracking back, saves the corner and puts it out for a throw.
Robbed of a free kick in their own half there, South Hobart. Clear handball.
As Lehman and Undy have switched flanks here. Kenny Weston getting a rather frustrated figure down on the sidelines. It has to be said he won't be terribly pleased with what he's seen, but they've got a free kick now. A chance to send the tall timber forwards. And Hill and Stevens do just that. Only Tommy Little and Mearns staying back at this stage. And they need something. They've got McCarthy and the left foot of Lehman standing over the ball. Looks like it might be Lehman. No, he defers for McCarthy. Curls it in. Brown, I thought it had gone over his head, but he extended the fist and just did enough to clear it. Thought he misjudged it a little, but recovered well, did the young keeper.
Yeah, very good recovery there. I also thought that just sailed over, but there's the good delivery from McCarthy. We haven't seen much of him today, and that's the best pass out of the back there from Little. Just
they're shell-shocked, aren't they, out there,
They
boys?
are a bit, aren't they?
There's been a few too many times that we've seen so far today, these Olympia players trying to play little flicks or poor passes off the line. In particular, I've noticed that every time they seem to take a throw-in over here, they're just kind of lobbing it into a man in the middle who tries to flick it on forwards to nobody in particular. And it's really not helping them hold on to the ball at all.
Yeah, the midfield brigade need to start exercising some control here and try and get them a foothold in the game. Glenage holding off the attentions of Thomas.
Farrell again.
Pass wasn't too good though. Time Hamlet picked out Quayle, looks to bomb on forward, storming off. Here's the fullback, chipped in beautifully to Kobe Kemp, who's returned the ball to Quayle, who kept on going. He crosses into the box. Oh, the block almost fell into the path of Walter. Just eluded him. And the near let off again there for the Warriors. They're forward the other way now for Glenage. Laid it back. First time ball, not great from McCarthy. Mearns wants Little to run into the open field, and he does that, but just did him no favours, and someone nearly gets decapitated in the crowd there. That had some venom on it.
Yeah, I think Gorry must have an enemy up that side of the South
clearly
Hobart
located
crowd
someone
because
in
he's
that.
clearly trying to kill someone.
Fiery clearances. We see Morton just fouling Mearns there in the centre of the park. Plays it out wide to Undy. Looking to bomb it forward, but it's no one in particular, and Thomas can clear that easily, and Mearns just rolled off the shin pad. Now for a throw-in. We've said it a few times, but Olympia look absolutely shell-shocked here today. I don't think they know quite what's hit them. Just aimless bowls. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 South Hobart players in that general area. You see Cartwright pick the ball up, plays it wide to Undy, offers again, but goes back too little. Pretty much the only option he had to go in the middle, and Benny Hamlet read that like a treat, and the counter is on. So we see Turner play it outside to Walter. Heavy touch to put down in front of him. He's got 2 in the box. Nice move from Walter. Centres the ball, and Kobe Kemp, I think that was, coming in at the back post. Not quite sure how he's missed that.
How has he missed that? Brilliant from Walter.
That's lovely from Walter.
Does Vandermeer ends up, and Kemp misses from 2 yards.
Missed from 2 yards after all that.
It was just a bit too far ahead of him, but he made the contact, and somehow Kemp has missed it, and that would have been 3-0, and that would be an absolute mountain to climb for the Warriors again. Broken apart at the back. Walter just snapping Vandermeer. That was a delightful bit of skill. He started this game looking very much in the mood, Alex Walter. And the Warriors are looking a little bit of a mess right now as Carl punches this one down the middle. Only the Frenchman there, he heads it forward. Kemp making a run, but Carl can swallow that one up and quickly release to Tommy Little. Little sauntering forwards, picked out Mearns. Well, it worked out all right. He found Cartwright. Now it's Undy looking to run at Gorry, jinking inside. Lovely pass there for Glenage. His touch allowed Morton in, and then Gorry, who's just smothering him. He has been outstanding in the first half hour, Adam Gorry. Little to Cartwright, lets it run, and then volleys it rather tamely straight out round. Well,
good class as a shot on too.
I think Ken Morton would be quite happy if they were all the shots on he was conceding today. They can have those ones, I reckon. As Kemp is robbed of it by Little. Now Little still going, and there's a little advantage, although maybe that was because Kemp had stopped. And McCarthy now with a chance to do something from the dead ball. Do they need something, the Warriors? Because from open play, they're creating absolutely nothing.
Yeah, they definitely need something from this dead ball situation.
I think a few of those battles that we flagged earlier on, boys, too, were into battle as it's swung in by McCarthy, but it's a poor ball straight down the throat just of the keeper. Just a few of those little battles that we talked about in the beginning, in particular the Morthog and Cartwright battle in the middle. I think we know who's come out on top of that one as he sprays it out wide to Gorry, and also Oscar Thomas has been fantastic at the back, keeping out Glenage. It's just didn't quite have enough on the cross for that one from Gorry, and it's cleared away. So I think in all of those crucial battles, we've seen South Hobart come out on top, and they're deserved 2-0 leaders at this point.
So it's a very fair call. Jake Morgan, every individual battle on the field, I'd say, is being won by South Hobart, as we see. Ball thrown in, Alex Walter on the wing again. He's got options inside, finds Turner, takes touch, but muscled out of it by Mearns. Clip from behind by Hamlet, nothing given. Cartwright can't win the ball. Hamlet on it again, looks to play it through, but just slightly overhit. Cole keeps it in.
I think the factor that South Hobart really have 2 genuine fullbacks as well has certainly been a big part of this game here today, because we've seen them bomb on a lot and create the extra man forward, and they've been certainly busting a lung to get back and support in defence too. So that is certainly another factor that's played right into the hands of South Hobart today, and could be something that might be addressed by Olympia going forwards in the future, I think.
Yeah, I think they're rather disappointed that the transfer window's not open for another week, as we see Hugh Undy just fall over the ball. No particular pressure in Kobe Kemp, and there's two South Hobart players down here, Jack Turner and Adam Gorry. Finds Gorry, who's actually straight offside a tad there, which will disappoint the attack there. But yeah, say what you want about Adam Gorry's haircut. He's certainly, in my opinion, the finest fullback in this league.
Oh, big shout. Cooling's giving it to Quayle.
Yeah, I think
Just before. And I'm giving it to Bidwell from Devonport.
He's been phenomenal this year, Eddie Bidwell, but I think I'll stick with Quayle as the number one on the fullback power rankings. But I tell you what, Adam Gorry not far behind, and they've almost turned it over here. Mearns got back, handled the ball, I thought. Turner allowed to play on, and then a rather tame shot on the left foot, and I think South Hobart probably would have preferred a free kick there.
I think they would have too, especially in that position with likes of Kobe Kemp in the lineup. But what they do win a corner, another set piece.
And a substitution has been made. Kenny Weston's had enough of this, and he's going to bring on Tommy Bellini for Jacob Lehman, who has struggled in the opening half hour.
Was going to raise that as a possibility that might need to come up at half-time, bringing on Bellini, but he has pulled the trigger after 33 minutes of football, and on comes Bellini to try and gain back a little bit of control and try and create a bit of class in that final third too for Olympia.
Yeah, he's can be ruthless, the manager Weston. I reckon that's a good call to get Bellini into it. So,
well, he's not been brought on to defend the corner.
Walter to swing this one in. He plays it in the middle of the box. The Mountain rises and deals with it. Rebound to Farrell. Now it's Adam Gorry. He'll look to just fake out Undy, then charges into the box. He chips it rather wastefully though in the end, and undid his good work. Did Darcy Street's favourite ranger, who has had a barnstorming start to this game. Bamboozling Undy there.
So just keeping an eye on down the bench here as Lehman's cut off. Weston has not stopped talking to him for probably most of the last minute here. Some instructions or just an explanation to the early sub. You see Olympia to build out from the back. New man Bellini. Gives his side a free kick in the first minute of coming on. Ball still rolling there, but play on given. Bellini plays it back. Too little. It's forward to Undy. Finds Cartwright in the middle. Nice touch, but Thomas picks that out. And Alex Walter on the left wing sidesteps Vandermeer. There's a foot race down that side, and then look, now he's got Lucas Hill, and he's burst past Lucas Hill into the box. Slide tackle from behind, and the penalty is given. A bit of cheese coming out for the Mountain as well, but there's a fantastic run from Alex Walter.
He just absolutely said to him there, catch me if you can, because you bloody well won't, and he stormed into the box, and in panic, you have to say, Hill has just dragged him down and given away a penalty and gotten himself a slice of cheese. This could be a chance for Hamlet to kill off the game for South Hobart here.
Yeah, big chance from the spot. Walter again, absolute dynamite. And just shades of the season opener in that one. Lucas Hill from behind, just dragging someone down. Hammer time, Hamlet from the spot, makes it 3-0. South Hobart are smashing the Warriors. This is a shellacking, boys.
It is an absolute shellacking here. Benny Hamlet, just a nice kiss on the forehead there to Alex Walter.
And I have to say, I love it. Oh, I'm absolutely loving it. This is a marvellous display here from South Hobart.
Well, I mean, I predicted pre-game that there wasn't going to be too many goals in this, and that has been blown out of the water in the first 35 minutes of this match. Ben Hamlet, from the moment he strode up for that penalty, it never looked in doubt. Cole went the wrong way, and 3-0.
Ben 10 on Ben 2 today. Do you think he can knock in another 8?
Probably not.
Probably not.
The way the Warriors are dealing with them, he could have a few more before time is out. They are stunned here. The new man Bellini gets barged over. And that will surely be a free kick. But would love to have a replay of the penalty if we can, Ash, just to see that run from Walter. It made the goal. Hamlet doing the job from the spot, but credit to Walter for drawing the foul in the first place. Here's Cole at the back for the shell-shocked Warriors, across to the man who conceded the spot kick, the Mountain, Lucas Hill. He drives this one forward in the direction of Undy. Chests it down. Undy volleys. Great save, Brown. It was a direct option there, straight down the guts to Undy, who did really well to chest it down and volley, and that is a spectacular save from young Brown.
You can't ask for the bloke to do any better there, Undy, really, can you? And just look at that. That is class save.
His first time he's really been called into action in to do anything particularly tough, and he has stood up to the test well there, the young keeper. Hill the target of this corner, but away by young Oscar Thomas. The youngster standing up at the back. McCarthy now to the back post. And out of play it goes. So 2 youngsters at the back for South Hobart doing the job there in Brown and Thomas. And they haven't had too much to do. We'll have another look at the spot kick. As Hamlet puts it away. And hammer time Hamlet has put that one to the back of the net. This kick out from the back finds Kemp late into the path of Morton. Bellini looking to make an early impact running here at Farrell Place. A nice little 1-2 with Sklenage, I thought, but brilliantly defended by Oscar Thomas to break that up. Gambled and won the ball away from him. And he's been outstanding so far at the back, the youngster.
Yeah, it'd be very hard to choose the best on so far for South Hobart, but actually Thomas, Gorry in this defensive area has been fantastic as Olympia. Too many options from the throw in here. Finds Mearns, who gets clattered by Morton from behind after that. That one will sting. I'm not sure if this will be a talking to or not. I think it will be. Flicks it on and Morton just goes bang right in the back.
Yeah, I think he made sure he felt that one.
Seen bigger hits than that.
Certainly we have Morton getting into his back, but I reckon that would have stung. Just clattering him there, and the Warriors just all standing around looking a little bit lost at the moment.
Every one of them with hands on hips at the moment.
Wondering what the hell has happened. 3-0 after 38 minutes. Ladder leaders no more. It's 0-0 up at Valley Road, so as it stands, South Hobart would be back at the top of the table. Though whether City can hold out against Devonport for 90 minutes, I'm not too sure, given the respective form lines there. But half-time in the Women's Super League game. Olympia doing a little bit better on the women's side of things, leading Torino 1-0 as this one's picked up and then lost by Undy. That was a bit sloppy, but the pass won't punish them. Stevens to Hill, back to Stevens. Now Tommy Little for Mearns, but Gorry read the intent and got in there and whacked it away. He's been outstanding, Adam Gorry. As Hill wants someone to present short from midfield, instead goes to Stevens. Undy, little heavy touch. Oh, and then lost by Mearns. Regathered by Undy. Looking to get on the ball and make something happen. As is Lucas Hill stepping up. Worked it to McCarthy. McCarthy to Undy. Tried to jink inside the Frenchman, but he saw that coming. Just got a foot in. Undy takes a tumble. Advantage paid. Lucas Hill. Oh, again, Oscar Thomas just reading the intent, reading it like a book, and now he's going to jump up and join in the attack. Hammer time, Hamlet running at Vandermeer. He's got a couple in support, riding shotgun. One of them is Oscar Thomas. Ooh! Just past the post. What a goal that would have been. He started the move, winning it at the back. He couldn't quite finish it, but this is delightful football from South Hobart.
In nosebleed territory there, the big tall centre-back. Absolutely loving it, striding forward. He's now back in his familiar position, but great run there and great awareness there from Hamlet as well on the hat trick. Pretty much a 1v1, so you almost wouldn't have blamed him for going on there, as it's wasteful there, but Gorry picks it up. Plays it to no one in particular.
Yeah, unselfish play from Hamlet to just pick out the big centre-back at the top of the box who's made the big barnstorming run. Got to love that team play that's really gotten them over the line here today.
Absolutely, as that's a loose pass back from Undy, picked up from Kemp, and Hamlet's now got a one-on-one with the Mountain. Looks inside at Cartwright, just takes it off the foot of Jack Turner. And Cole looks to play it out from the back towards Vandermeer. He's got Morton for company. Gets it around him eventually into Mearns. He's got space out here for Bellini. He's got Gorry to beat. Second defender in Kemp coming across, ducks inside, runs straight into Huey Ludford. Says, thank you, I'll clear that. Jack Morton and Benny Hamlet having a chesting competition in the centre circle, and the Mountain picks it up.
Well read by the Mountain.
Yeah, very well read, and Morton up against Hill. Gorry just plays it round him. Kemp I'm not sure if he meant that, but it was a great piece of skill. Now looking to burn Little down the wing. He's got Hamlet in the centre. Just waiting for the moment to cross it in. Bit of hand-holding there from Little. Little eventually wins that back. That's great hustle from the defender. Been under the cosh all game. Nice piece of defending from Little. And a wasteful ball out the back from Olympia. Morton picks it up again. Wins the free kick. No advantage paid there from Mearns. It's a great battle between Little down the wing. And again, Olympia had nothing going forward. And just the passes out from the back to nobody in particular have been rather wasteful. You see Gorry. We finally got a great zoom in of that haircut that we've been after all game as he looks to whip the ball in. Nice ball. Turner's there. Onto the crossbar. Falling down again. Hamlet's on it. Takes a swing. Doesn't get it. Walter with the acrobatics. See Turner looking to play it in again. That's another great opportunity there from South Hobart.
I think that was a save almost from Cole there. I think he's tipped that onto the crossbar too, Mundy. We'll just have another look at it here. And, yep, he has just gotten a finger to it. Maybe potentially just already going onto the crossbar, but potentially a crucial intervention there to keep his side at 3-0 when really it would have been curtains if that other goal
slip there as we go back to live play. Morton one-on-one, and that is 4-0 to South Hobart. The crowd cannot quite believe it. Morton giving it to the crowd, and that came from absolutely nothing. Sorry to interrupt you there, Jake Morgan, but I saw Cartwright slip over in the middle of the pitch there, and 4-0, not even half-time. So we have a look at the replay. Quickly taken. That Cartwright just slips.
Keeps.
Ball in the D. I think that counts as outside from a goal kick.
Well, that was just sloppiness.
That was, wasn't it?
It's just basic errors. They've been absolutely insipid playing out from the back in this first half. The Warriors, and they've been punished again. South Hobart, you said their supporters can't believe it. I can't quite believe it. This has come from nowhere. 4-0 Olympia. Oh, I've not seen a worse performance from them this year. I've not seen a better performance from South Hobart. It's been two extremes, and their heads have dropped.
I think you'd had a couple of years there for Olympia. I don't think it's just this year, as we see Kemp again on the ball. They're running rampant here, and Walter picks it up. And he's got Vandermeer beat on the left wing. This time Vandermeer clears it in with the help of McCarthy, who looks to play forward to Schlenage, who I don't think I've had to call for about 10 minutes.
Totally isolated the entire game. They've just had absolutely nobody around Schlenage, and it's just absolutely minimised his influence on this game. But take nothing away from South, that's for sure.
Slice of cheese. Northern correspondent Mitchy Dent just chiming in, suggesting it's no use having a player like Schlenage if you can't get it to his feet, and that has very much been the case. He's had no service, and feeding off scraps. This man hasn't been. Hammer time. Hamlet, he's in the mix again. Gets the header ahead of Cole, but enough bodies back for the Warriors. Hamlet taking on the entire defensive unit there of the Warriors. Have a good fist of it, but nothing comes of it, and they're just hoping for the sweet relief that the halftime whistle might bring. They are just absolutely stunned at the moment, the Warriors. 4-0. This was meant to be an even contest between two of the best teams in the comp. The Warriors on top of the ladder, coming off the back of a statewide cup semi-final victory. They have been anything but today. South Hobart,
Oscar Thomas,
utterly dominant. Thomas does well again.
And he's really spent most of this game too trying to play off the shoulder of Oscar Thomas, Jakob Schlenage. And to be honest, you just know that the big man Thomas has had the better of him.
And case in point right there, you got Schlenage wanting it played to his feet, making that run, beat his man Thomas, and then the Olympia player just plays it well over his head, right to the keeper. Exact demonstration of what we've been talking about up here in the commentary box, as we see Kemp winning the header in the direction of Turner, up against two Olympia players, but wins that well. The mountain clears eventually, only as far as Morton. Looks out wide to Walter. It's a great ball. Walter's got it under control. 1v1 with Vandermeer. Really skinning again, does the step over. Sliding challenge from Vandermeer, always risky, but
he loves running at Vandermeer, doesn't he, out there?
Ever.
Got a fair bit more pace than him. Oh, and a lovely little challenge there. Oh, and another one. Schlenage might get the ball. No, not this time, unfortunately.
Yeah, nice hustle there. Out the wing there from McCarthy, who's certainly not giving up. As we see, Clay will keep the ball in, looks central to Hamlet. Now back on side is Alex Walter. He's actually got time to look up. Again, Turner now on the wing. Looks for the cross, but Stevens will take that one. And Ludford puts the ball up as for a minute, all over a minute into stoppage time in this first half. Gorry, put the ball on the right wing. Got Bellini for company, and Bellini takes it out for a throw. Again, still no intensity. All the intensity still in this match. South Hobart still streaming forward. You see Gorry looking to take the throw. He's got Kemp for short, takes that option, but Cartwright will get the ball. Look to play it out, sold him short. Kobe Kemp in the box, plays it back to Hamlet, but cleared just in time. Gorry cops that one in the chin, and then Bellini goes through the back of him, and that's a free kick. Probably going to be the last action of the half. But again, a promising opportunity for South to make it 5.
Yep, they've got one last look here. Adam Gorry standing over the dead ball. A 4-0 lead. All the momentum in this game. Could he get worse yet? Jack Turner perhaps a likely target. This one's swung in, dealt with by the Chrome Dome of Big Cartwright. Away it goes. Splanage collects, waits for some support. Puts it out in front of McCarthy. Now to the feet of Undy. Holds it up. Plays it to McCarthy. Back to Van der May. Do they have time to generate anything? We'll look at the watch from the referee, but we continue. Tommy Little now. South Hobart back en masse. Little doesn't have the support he wants. Eventually goes to Bellini. Just trips over the ball. If anything can sum up the first 45 for the Warriors, that might just be that. They're now tripping over the football. Here's Jack Turner. Laid it back to the Morthog Morton. Deflects off Undy, and Brown will dive on top of that one, and that might be that for the first 45 minutes. Indeed it is. What a half of football here at Darcy Street. We came expecting a contest. That has not been the case. It has been an absolute smashing from the hosts. They have obliterated.
It's a real battering, isn't it?
It's an absolute battering so far.
And 4-0 the
what
score.
Can you say? Just the fullback work from South Hobart has really allowed them to get on the overlap on numerous occasions here for Olympia. And you've got to say that they've left Jakub Sklenar absolutely just by himself at the top throughout this game, and it's really had no support and not been able to get onto the ball for them. And got to be big changes here, you'd think, for Kenny Weston if they're to maybe scrape a draw perhaps in this second half.
Darcy Street very much up and about. South Hobart have been superb. I did tip a South Hobart win, but I did not see this coming. I thought it was going to be a real arm wrestle. The game might well be done with already.
It's been well officiated too.
Yeah, that it has. We'll take a breather and leave you with the highlights from a staggering first 45 and be back shortly with the second half. 4-0 the score at half-time. But he got around Hill, but Stevens was
Beryl picks the ball up, and now nice foot race down here between Gorry, and that's nothing
Lehman.
given there between Lehman and Gorry.
Nice
Nice
in front,
defending,
Lehman.
covering across. Beryl plays the ball into Camp, who looks for Morton. Late challenge, and eventually that's given.
The last set of his. He's going to swing this one in near post. Through, see it, the post shot by Hamlets. 1-0, South Hobart. Ben Hammer time. Hamlin opens the scoring. It's gone through a sea of bodies, and Hammer time pounces.
Well, I'm not sure how that's gone right into the 6 yards. They let Stevens to Little, and that's good defence there from Gorry. Just gives Little, or Lehman I should say, a bit of an elbow, and that's a great battle between Thomas and Glenard.
Probably expect a shot from McCarthy, and he curls it straight at the keeper. Disappointing in the end, and comfortably held by Brown.
The other side of the pitch, Thomas Little's on. He's had his hands full today. See Morton with the extravagant, well, then out extravagant. Farrell plays it out wide to Quayle. A good cross on him, Quayle, and delivers in. Morton's
beautiful.
there. Look at it, 10. South Hobart 2-0 already.
And it's Jack Turner with a towering
Jack
header
Turner.
there. And what a ball that was into the box from Mr. Quayle out there on the left-hand side. Just absolutely
Switched on as this one's long in the Kemp direction over the head of Little. Stevens just worked under it a little there, and then a swinging boot is collected. Morton coming back. The Morthog Morton, who's still soldiering on against Hill, and he's won the ball away. Cartwright couldn't rob Hamlin on it. Skips around one, couldn't skip around Hill, who surely handballed it. Looks like it might be Lehman. No, he defers for McCarthy. Curls it in. Brown thought it had gone over his head, but he extended the fist and just did enough to clear it. Here's the fullback, chipped in beautifully to Kobe Kemp, who's returned the ball to Quayle, who kept on going. He crosses into the box. Oh, the block almost fell into the path of Walter. Just a little. Wants Little to run into the open field, and he does that, but just did him no favours, and someone nearly gets decapitated in the crowd there. That had some venom.
Put down in front of him. He's got 2 in the box. Nice move from Walter. Centres the ball, and Toby Kemp, I think that was, coming in at the back post.
Little to Cartwright, lets it run, and then volleys it rather tamely straight at
Shot
Brown.
on.
Well,
Good class that
we flagged earlier on, boys, too. We're in the battle as it's swung in by McCarthy, but it's a poor ball. Straight down the throat. Just of the kid.
can't win the ball. Hamlet on it again, looks to play it through, but just slightly overhit. Cole keeps it, and Adam Gorry finds Gorry, who's actually straight offside a tad there, which will disappoint. The attack there, but yeah, so
Birds got back,
big
handled the
handball
ball, I
from
thought. Turner allowed to play on, and then a rather tame shot on the left foot. I think South Hobart probably would have preferred a free kick there. Gorry, he looked to, just fake out Undy, then charges into the box. He chips it rather wastefully though in the end, and undid.
an explanation to the early sub. You see Olympia build out from the back. New man Bellini. Easy side of Lucas Hill, and he's burst past Lucas Hill into the box. Slide tackle from behind, and the penalty is given. Bit of cheese coming out.
To the season opener in that one, the Lucas Hill from behind, just dragging someone down. Hammer time, Hamler from the spot, makes it 3-0. South Hobart are smashing the Warriors. This is a shellacking, boys.
It is an absolute shellacking here. Benny Hamlet, just a nice kiss on the forehead there to Alex Walter.
And I have to say, I love it. Oh, I'm absolutely.
He drives this one forward in the direction of Undy, chests it down, Undy volleys, great save ground. It was a direct.
The defensive area has been fantastic as Olympia turn the options from the throw in here. Finds Mearns, who gets collected by Morton from behind after that.
Hamlet running at Vandermeer. He's got a couple in support, riding shotgun. One of them is Oscar Thomas. Just past the post. What a goal that would have been.
Into that haircut that was been after all game as he looks to whip the ball in. Nice ball, Turner's there, onto the crossbar. Falling down again, Hamlet's on it, takes a swing, doesn't get it, Walter with the acrobatics. So Turner looking to play it in again.
Crucial intervention there to keep his side at 3-0 when really it would have been curtains if that other
It's a
goal
slip
had
there as we go back to Lifeway. Morton, one-on-one. And that is 4-0 to South Hobart. The crowd cannot quite believe it. Morton giving it to the crowd, and that came from absolutely nothing. Sorry to interrupt you there, Jake Morgan, but I saw Cartwright slip over in the middle. Takes that option with Cartwright to get the ball. Look to play it out, sold him short. Kobe Camp in the box, plays it back to Hamler, but cleared just in time.
Up. Laid it back to the Mordog Morton. Deflects off Undy, and Brown will dive on top of that one, and that might be that for the first 45.
You at the hideout where we can dream again. I'll tell you all my secrets. We're encouraged like a second skin. The kids are all dying. We're dying to believe again. Run through the open streets. We take what is needed. They say we're young ones, but we live for it, we die for it, we live for it forever. They say you're only young ones, but we live for it, we live for it, we live for it forever. We can dream all night till the sun rises.
Welcome back to the Theatre of Dreams, or if you're a Warriors fan, the maelstrom of nightmares, as it is 4-0 South Hobart at the half. An utterly dominant 45 minutes has them in the box seat to perhaps ascend to the summit of the table. It's still a 0-0 at Valley Road, but here at Darcy Street, it's been all one-way traffic. Lads, is there any way back into this game for the Warriors, and what do you think they need to do if they are to get back into it?
Well, I would say there is no chance. Unfortunately, we saw that amazing comeback over in Victoria the other week of South Melbourne, scoring 4 goals in the last 10 minutes. So, I mean, anything is possible.
And it looks
but I would highly doubt it, as we see.
The business ornament appears to have gone to right back. Big Shane Cartwright appears to be at centre back, and the Mountains have been pushed on to midfield. So, Western has made some changes. Certainly needed to. And McCarthy out on the right.
Cartwright can play just about anywhere, can't he?
Well, he's got the physical frame there, but it's an interesting one. Never seen him at centre back before. We'll see how that goes. It looks like the Mountain's been pushed into midfield. I do like him as a midfielder, but an interesting one that when you got Vandermeer at fullback, and he's almost caught out early there. South Hobart bringing the intensity from the offset again, as Thomas chips this one forward, looking for hammer time. The Biz and Cartwright across to deal with that one.
Yeah, centre back for Cartwright's an interesting one. I mean, there's, as I said, Hill is a defensive mid I do like. I think he's got the right frame and right skill set for that, but it'll be very interesting to see. You see Walter with a nice flick. Fortunately, Turner just overrun that. Thumped clear, but Morton win that one, and Whale just keeps... no, he doesn't. For an Olympia throw. But yeah, Kenny Weston ringing the changes at half time.
You can't blame him after that first 45.
You got to do something, don't you?
They were abysmal.
Yeah.
They were absolutely dreadful, the Warriors. South Hobart, full credit to them, they've been absolutely immense. They've pressured them, but some real sloppy work playing out from the back from the Warriors. And hard to see how they get anything out of this one now, rather than just trying to survive these next 45 minutes. As this one's worked forward. The Warthog Morton, who had a brilliant first 45, just pulls out the pitching wedge and chips it forward. Now Lloyd Farrell. It's down on the deck. He's a Warriors player, so we'll stop.
Certainly,
it's checked out.
Looks like a makeshift Warriors defence now, almost, doesn't it, boys?
It absolutely does. It's certainly not a combination they've played with at all this year, and yeah, I'm just wondering the theory behind Cartwright.
I haven't even seen Mark Ortman play right back. I don't know about you boys. But
He's purely played midfield. When I've watched it.
Yeah. It's the same Anzac Day when I saw him. He came on off the bench and played midfield.
And I've seen Cartwright play as the big central striker in the opening game, and then he slotted into midfield the last few times, and now he's having a go at centre back as well.
Yeah, he's been shuffled around all over the place. Treatment continuing over there. A bit of a stoppage for the head knock. Getting back to his feet now is Sklanage. Yeah, that he's all right. That would be real salt in the wounds if they were to lose him, but does look a little bit groggy. He's back to his feet. Gets checked out. There is the man in question, Big Shane Cartwright, starting in defence for this second half. And we're back now through to Ludford. Great to see him back out there. I thought last year injuries might be getting the better of him, but he's bounced back with strong performances whenever I've watched him this year. Was immense in the season opener against the Warriors.
No, they're certainly a very quality pairing, the two of them, in particular Dogger Brown and Hugh Ludford back there for South Hobart, and they've been mainstays for a while here.
Thomas has shown today that they've got one for the future there. A slightly heavy touch and clattering in was Cartwright, and now this one will be out in front of Mearns, so Thomas whacks it away.
Now, I've been more and more impressed with Thomas every time I've seen him this year. Just great height, great pace, play the ball out. All the qualities you want in a centre-back.
So the Biz to take the throw in to the feet of Mearns. So Hobart shirts just surrounding them, and McCarthy puts it straight out of plate. Shakes his head. Not his best work. Quayle sends it down the line. Mearns gets up and wins it. Presenting at the ball was Undy. Farrell tightly checking him, then Quayle came in and infringed.
Yeah, I thought Farrell had corralled him out quite nicely there, but fortunately for him, they just gave the decision against him. As we see Stevens switch it out to the other side to Vandermeer. He looks up, plays it into Bellini, but well worn by Gorry there.
Yeah,
They've given the free kick and they take it quite quickly here. So Bellini's got a little bit of space, running at Oscar Thomas now. Just continues to jink inside and looks to Mearns. Plays it through to Sklanage and Undy. Sklanage again, he's clear here, and he's just buried it. Gives them just a little bit of hope here to try and bring it back from 4-1.
There's life in this match yet. Sklanage with his first shot of the game, the first bit of time and space he's had in the box, and what do you know, it's in the corner, and the changes from Western at half-time. See how that impacts the rest of this half, but is it game on, boys?
It's just set off the resident soprano down here. It looks to Mearns.
Darcy
Plays it through to Sklanage and Undy. Sklanage again, he's clear here.
That was Francis Cullen with his little horn thing that he brings to all the games. I'd wager as Undy picks up the ball, but perhaps some hope. It has been a week like that. South Melbourne were trailing rather 4-1 after 80 minutes and won 5-4 in the FFA Cup earlier this week. So perhaps Olympia looking to channel that. They've got a bit longer to work with, and Mearns does that well, and they've come out certainly with a much better intensity in the second half, and Sklanage showing his class to cut the margin to 4-1. Still a long way back, but the body language looks better.
Yeah, we'll see a lot more from Olympia now. When you get one back, it always tends to spur you on, and they really, really do not like this South Hobart team, and we know that, so I think that there's all the motivation to keep going here for Olympia.
There is Kenny Weston, I suspect, fired a few rockets and told a few home truths at half-time as well, as the Warriors move the ball forward. Quick out to the feet of Bellini here. He turns and sends it in the Undy direction. Oscar Thomas across to deal with it. And he chips it down the line, and here's Kobe Kemp in acres of space. It's 2v2 at the back here. Running and getting round Vandermeer. Here's Kemp. Drove it straight at Coldo, who makes the save. They just jinked around him like a witch's hat there, Kobe Kemp.
Yeah, left Vandermeer for dead there. It was rather easy going in. Could have even taken another touch. Yeah. As well as we see Quayle clearance, nobody in particular, and a gilt-edged chance to restore that 4-goal lead there. Kobe Kemp, but not this time. But again, South Hobart not sitting back in any way, still looking to go forward. Every opportunity.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the concern, really, even if South were to concede another one. If it was to get back to 4-2, I'm just not sure the Warriors are going to be able to keep out this South Hobart side. They've cut them apart every time they've gone forwards here. I don't know if the defence is able to deal with the threat. Here's Cartwright.
He's playing left back now, is he?
I think it might be a back three, perhaps, and the Bees pushing up. I'm not sure what Weston's got here. It's very fluid.
He's very fluid. And he's barking out instruction, is Kenny. Almost hear him from up here.
No, he's tactically transcended me here, Kenny Weston. I'm lost.
Well, they've got to
He's
kill
gone
that.
beyond.
There's a chance, perhaps, for McCarthy to send something of quality
Yeah,
in.
yeah,
But I think
the
Benny-
AVB position down there too. You see the short corner taken. Mearns picks it up, looks to jink inside, but
Benny Hamlet's
easily
on here.
disposed. And Benny Hamlet 1v1 with the Piz. A good battle up here. He's forced him wide.
Well done, Mark, the business Ortman there.
Fantastic 1v1 defending there from Orton. You've got to be happy with that.
Yep.
Yeah, you'd take killing the ball there. It was a match-up I think Hamilton would have liked running at the youngster, but he stood up well. Perhaps showed why
Well,
he's
my
playing
eyes
in
were
defence.
lighting up from the minute that Olympia corner was called when I saw the two of them lining up on each other, but very well done there by Mark the business.
Yeah, showing his quality. Good young player. So yeah, it looks like Cartwright is just playing left back for the time being, and Vandermeer shifted inside again. And he wins this challenge. Does Cartwright? Sends it out of play.
Your discussion of a back three might be okay, as his Ortman's being implored to push up one of his coaches. And it's, as you say, a very fluid tactical system here. From Western, as we see the ball played inside. Lumped forward from Ludford. Aerial contest, Stevens will win that. Got time and space here for McCarthy, but just overhit the pass straight to Morton, who plays a nice one too. He's got time, shoots Morton. What a finish from Nick Morton. Hit that one out, he says.
Oh.
That's 5-1 South Hobart. Comes right in front of both grandstands. Absolutely loving it.
I think he enjoyed that one a bit, fellas.
I think he's enjoying that. He's still going.
Oh, Quayle just giving the gaffer a bit of love there too. And look at this for a hit from the Bulldog. Just sits up for him. He goes whack.
Set up well.
And he hits it ever so sweetly into the bottom corner. 5-1 South Hobart.
Oh, they went nuts up here, didn't they, too? They absolutely loved that. But I don't think anybody here loved it as much as the man himself, Nick Morton. What a celebration that was, boys. I reckon he's covered a good 200 metres there.
He loves a goal. He's
they're
enjoyed that. They're
here.
off again. Liam Quayle charging down the flag. He puts the cross into the back post. Will it sit for Kemp? Controls. Cartwright across to deal with him. He checks back and will wait for support in the form of Adam Gorry. And he's happy to just play it back to Ludford. And the danger appears to have passed for now. Chip down the line, but well, the Warriors' renaissance appears to be rather short-lived. The Mortog smacking it into the back of the net. And he's picked up another one here. Turner lays it into his path away by Vandermeer. A bit of feeling out there. You just feel like maybe the Warriors trying to sign a few of these South Hobart players might have just put a bit of wind in the sails. As this one's an ambitious chip from Hamlet. He's off target though.
Yeah, don't mind it when you're 5-1 up. Why not have a go at this spectacular option?
Yeah.
He was certainly off his line a bit there, Cole, so possibly wasn't the worst option. They weren't exactly queuing up for him in the middle.
Oh, and he's obviously on the hat trick as well, so he's always looking forward. Looking for a goal is Hamlet. Just cap off the day. As Cole's pushing everyone up, so no short goal kick today. As we see, launch forward, but right on the head of Jack Turno. Plays it to Hamlet.
That head's been useful for them today, hasn't it?
Hasn't it ever? And I think Hamlet's been given offside. There? Yeah, been a very useful head.
And it was the mullet of infallibility giving that offside, so I have no doubt that it was.
Chip forward by Vandermeer. Suspicion of handball against Corey there, and that one's spotted.
Just a suspicion.
Not a great spot to do it 2 metres away from the referee. Going to struggle to disguise that one as they play it back to Undy. Sauntering forward, broken up by Lloyd Farrell. Schlage nods on, but Brown comfortably collects, and now Liam Quayle, who's been fantastic today, sends one down the line. Paul Stevens at home for the Warriors. Back to Vandermeer. A little up and under into the middle of the pitch. A little uncertain there was Vandermeer, and turning around the mountain there it was Kemp. Lloyd Farrell sliding in was Hill. Needs to watch himself. He's on a slice of cheddar already. Now Gorry, laid back by Turner. And just recycling it back to Thomas and Farrell. They're just knocking it around and making the Warriors chase. They're doing it comfortably, although they've just turned it over there. And now Undy,
for you there, Cooling.
Absolutely.
yeah, put the moz on him, something shocking. As Undy looks to soldier forward, but again broken up by the outstanding Oscar Thomas. He lost it to Mearns. That was broken up by Kemp, and now Morton says enough of this. I'm just going to whack it forwards. Cartwright heading down into the Undy direction. Controlled and chipped. It was Bellini rather, Undy his target. And straight through to Brown. Quayle. Walks up. And Morton. Hill across. And fells the Morton, who just suggests that maybe another slice could be in the offing. Perhaps aware that his opponent is already on the card.
I think the crowd sensed that as well, judging by the reaction. We saw his slide tackle earlier, the mountain, and then that
You'd
little
have
drag
to say
back.
he's got to be on the last warning now.
He's stretching
He
it out
must
for
be.
all it's worth. You see Morton play it forward, direction of Walter. Got the Hortman to Peter. Cleans it well. He's got to be careful. He'll especially playing that defensive midfield role that he is now. He's going to have to commit a lot of challenges today.
Was sent off in the season opener between these two teams. 3-0 result that day, and suddenly that's not looking so bad. This could be even worse as Turner sends one in. Volley first time by Hamlet, just wide of the mark. And again, not too far away. Jack Turner having some sort of game. It was great delivery, and Hamlet just wanting the ball a bit more and getting there first.
Yeah, a bit flat-footed there, Vandermeer. I don't think he was expecting Hamlet to come charging through. You see Cole, the goal kick, puts it on the head of Schlanage, who flicks it forward, only as far as Luke Farrell, who plays it back to Gorry. He'll look to play it back to the keeper, Brown. One of his first touches in the half for Brown. He Slumps that one forward, and Cartwright wins that header well. Played forward to Sklenage. Plays it back to Mearns. He's got time and space to operate here. It's inside to Hill. Back to Mearns. Looking wide. Back to Ortman. Inside, Olympia finally getting a chance to knock the ball around here, but not too many inroads as we see Vandermeer with the ball. Looks forward, but it's flicked off the South Hobart player for a corner, and it has. So Olympia with a chance from the set piece.
Still 0-0 at Valley Road, just past the hour mark. Just clattering the post, Devonport. So able to put one away. So South Hobart.
Braden Mann or Turtle Holden or the King.
Well, the King set it up as this one's going to be swung in, and it's a dangerous ball into the mixer. Vandermeer coming through, makes good contact, but straight down the throat of Brown. Now I've following Jamie Richardson's work up there in the north. The King's been brought on half-time, so it's a sure sign that Devonport are a little bit worried as Alex Walter now charging onto the ball played out in front of him. Trailing is Lucas Hill. Body's up on him, and then Walter tried to play it off him, but looks like it's already rolled over the line, so a goal kick will be the decision there. Could well be a good day for South Hobart if that result's hold.
Very much, especially Zebras losing, Olympia losing, obviously.
Could all be coming up. South Hobart, Sklenage again, uncontested flicks on, but Bellini not get there before Gorry, who works it back to Oscar Thomas. Plays it to Loic Farrell. Just controlled his area of the pitch masterfully today. Gorry copping a whack there. That'll be a slice of cheese.
Could have almost earned one earlier today, Mearns, too.
Nick Mearns there bringing him down.
So, yeah, probably earned that one over the course of the day here. And I think Gorry will certainly be happy that he's wearing his shin pads out there today.
Yeah, certainly is. It's
Has he even made much contact with him there?
I'm just thinking that.
I'm not sure.
I wouldn't mind seeing that again.
He's gone down to the other leg too, so maybe he just wanted to catch his breath a little bit there, Gorry, and have a little bit of a break.
Certainly taking a big enough
replay.
swing. Certainly taking a big enough swing. I'm not sure how much of it he got. See Gorry lay the ball forward in the direction of Hamlet, but Vandermeer cut that one out. Bellini takes it down well. Plays inside to Mearns. Looks forward. Sklenage on the ball with Thomas for company. Plays it back. Looking for the crossfield ball there. I think that was from Undian. Hamlet now got goal side. Takes a touch with the head. Looks to hit it inside. Cartwright defends. Screaming for it in the centre. Played out for a corner. I've got to say there was Walter and Jack Turner screaming for it in the box there. And I'm not sure if it might have been the better option.
A few shouts for handball there too, but I am not so sure. I think that's quite well refereed, but
I don't think so.
well defended there from Cartwright, really. But
not much you can do from a yard away when the ball gets smacked like that. But well defended by Cartwright in the end. Does well.
Showing his credentials as a centre-back as it gets swung in. It's a looping ball, and Walter gets up there as Benny Hamlet tries to hit it on the volley, but misses by some distance, and has actually earned a corner. A little bit of a deflection there maybe from Hamlet's attempted volley.
So that's
Vandermeer on the line,
I think that was,
stuck his foot
Stevens.
out. Yeah, didn't need to do that, Vandermeer. It was going well wide.
Certainly hasn't had the best game that I've seen him play, old Vandermeer out there today.
Yeah, I don't think too many in this Warriors side will be looking back too fondly on this 90 minutes when all's said and done. Still 30 to play as Kemp swings it in. Dangerous ball, Cole palming it to the back post. Hammer time, Hamlet. Thinking his way through it and ends up crossing near post. Vandermeer heads away. Bellini gets a foot in to steer it away, but only as far as Gorry, and the pressure will come back. Hamlet with a poor delivery, and Cole slips, but comfortably grabbing the ball, and then not his best delivery again there, Cole. It cost a goal earlier in the match with a sloppy pass. Morthog Morton pounces on this one, driving in, brought down by Stevens, and cut by Boyd straight to the spot. And it'll be another chance for the penalty spot to make it 6. Stevens slid in full-blooded, and no hesitation. That
It's
appears
hard
to be
to
the
see
correct.
from this angle, but
Not a lot of protestations, I don't think, for the Warriors, though.
he certainly didn't look too happy about it, Stephen. He gave the ball a bit of a whack away and certainly shook the ball at the referee as if to say, I certainly got a piece of that. But now we'll see Benny Hamlet stepping up to see if he can wrap up his hat-trick. Here he comes. And there he is. Calm as a cucumber, as some would say. Just so he stroked that into the far side of the net, and beautifully done there from Benny Hamlet. Calm and gets the hat-trick.
Well, they've hit them for 6, and they are flying. They are just looking to drive the dagger in here. There's not much love lost between these two teams. They're putting them absolutely to the sword and loving every minute. Benny Hamlet in a frustrated figure after he got that red card and missed a few games. He's loving life back out on the pitch, and he has smashed in another one. And the Warriors have just been a mess at the back today. South Hobart taking full advantage. Oscar Thomas puts that one out of play. I'd love some...
Who was our mate from Devonport who came
Oh, Rocket Andrews, of course.
Rocket Andrews with Calm as a cucumber.
Yeah.
Been waiting weeks to bring that one out.
You'll, I suspect, be nervously keeping an eye on that one at Valley Road. We'll keep you updated there. Still 0-0. Last I look there.
And we see Stevens pick the ball up, but again, not too many options as he plays out. Eventually goes to Schlanage, but Thomas has won that battle most of the day. Mearns picks it up. Again, Schlanage up with it. Looks to play the 1-2. No luck there. Nicely played out from Luke Farrell, but a bit of a rushed pass there. You see Cartwright pick the ball up. Still playing his unfamiliar left centre-back position. Vandermeer nicely pulls Hamlet there. Gets it on his left. Looks to play it forward. Ludford should pick that one out. Just slips as he went to make contact with it. Olympia, you see, ball played back to McCarthy. Again, head uphill with the ball in the centre of the park now. Finding too much space is Olympia here, especially in the middle of the park. Jack Turner harassing Lucas Hill here. He's now found it on the right mid. There's a bit of a collision there. I thought that might have been a foul on Turner, but Morton picks it up. And eventually, ping pong going on here. It's a bit scrappy. You see South Hobart end up with the throw in right in front of their bench. Just trying to hide the ball behind the chair, it appears. Down below us.
Kenny Morton will be absolutely loving this from his side today. They've really dominated the Warriors in recent times in this rivalry, and once again today, it's been utterly one-sided. Undy jinking around Thomas. This is a nice run from Undy, and he fires off a shot that's well wide of the mark. It was a fantastic play right up until the moment it left his boot. And lovely little run as he got around Thomas. Plenty of South Hobart bodies back in support. Morton tracking back in defence. Gorrie across. The athleticism and work rate of the back four and midfield has been very much commendable from South Hobart today. They've been outstanding. They've not stopped running. And the Mortog Morton just been box to box. Turner the same. And they've got Lloyd Farrell just parked in front of the back four. It does make it tough to break down.
I think he'll still be looking to get onto a hat-trick out there, the Morthog.
That wouldn't surprise me either. Just watched Benny Hamlet stretching the calf muscles out. Just wondering to keep up this level of fitness we're talking about with South Hobart if they'll go to their bench soon. Saw about last time I was here, Brennan come on about this time. It's Stevens. Nice is with danger there with Morton, but gets away with it. Plays it to McCarthy. Look forward, and Schlanage thought he was in some space there. It's good harassing. A great defence from Farrell. Plays it forward to Morton. Walter, we haven't seen too much of this half. Looks late forward to Hamlet, but Vandermeer and Stevens combine. Play that one back to Cole, who will look to reset. You see Stevens on the right-hand side here. Plays the ball forward. Undy will chase it down. Ludford clears. Jack Turner with a very interesting chest there, but uses his body well.
Good strength.
Very good strength. And just a bit of miscommunication there means Cartwright can pick it up and bomb on. Yeah, the marauding left back that Shane Cartwright is now. Plays it to Bellini. Back to Undy. Cartwright's still out there on the left mid, but not looking to take it, and if South Hobart end up with the ball here, could be dangerous, but they've ended up with it with Olympia. Mearns looks inside to McCarthy, but cleared away. Again, just that link play between defence, midfield and attack for Olympia just has not been there today. You see Paul Stevens looking to play it forward to Clenage, but Thomas gets in the right position to get around Ortman, but puts it out for a throw-in, and I think
Nick Mearns being replaced by Brayton Allen.
Yeah, rare to see. I haven't seen Mearns subbed too often. He doesn't look too happy about it.
Hasn't been one of his better days, Nick Mearns.
I certainly concur with that there, Andrew. He's really not controlled the midfield there today for the Olympia Warriors, and have to say that probably a pretty justified decision there from Kenny Weston, though he certainly is a quality player, Mearns, and we all know that up here, and we've appreciated his efforts on numerous occasions. Just not quite the best effort there today, but he'll bounce back strongly.
Yeah, certainly not the only Olympia player to fill in that. With Satish Clenage with the ball in the box. He's got a couple of options, but well closed down. Bellini wants to take a touch. Eventually cleared from Gorry. Hamlet picks the ball up in halfway. It's now 1-on-6 at the moment. Olympia do end up with it. Another thing with that sub, it appears Allen's gone out to the left-hand side, and Cartwright's now playing centre mid. Probably he's gone where Mearns has. So Cartwright's had more positions than South Hobart's had goals today.
Cartwright a free role player.
Oh yeah, I think that's his best description at the moment.
Where he's needed.
It's the old utility, isn't he? Just plug him in wherever is Quayle. Tracking this one down. Finds Walter. Mike Farrell deflects into the path of Kobe Kemp. Gets his head up and sends a lovely ball into the path of Walter. This is promising again for South Hobart. Early cross dealt with by Vandermeer, and then the Biz clears the area and finds Bellini. Immediately looking to turn. Kemp across in support. Sliding was Allen to steer it away. That's the thing that's really stood out about South Hobart's play. They've always had that extra man coming in support from the midfield. It's been so many times it's just been 2-on-1.
If we just look at the play right now, we're seeing Loic Farrell pressure up, and Nick Morton is right back in the spot where we've seen Farrell for the duration of this game.
Slides in to defend there and steers it away. Farrell to Gorry. They've looked fantastic today. Have South Hobart, and that's a beautiful ball, and Adam Gorry charging on. What a game he's played. He couldn't get around Vandermeer on this occasion though. And now Shane Cartwright with a raking pass. Ludford almost letting him in, but clears the area. Gorry stayed up. He'll be offside, will he? Yeah, had to be. He's strayed by several yards.
I think all three South Hobart players were offside there, as we see Cartwright get the ball and look to play it wide.
I think they were enamoured by the mullet. They just had to stop a little while to have a look at it.
Oh, God, aren't we all? As Olympia play the ball forward. Clenage with a flick to nobody in particular, but Cartwright picks it up. Undy well offside, but play continues with Thomas and McCarthy battling it out. Bellini pick it up. Thinks inside to Hill. Plays it right into his own teammate McCarthy, who turns around in disgust. Bit of miscommunication here, and Alex Walton will chase that down, but just cleared in time by Stevens. Hamlet pulling up a little lame there. I wonder if he'll come off. I think he's just signalled to the bench.
Just giving him a little bit of a signal there, or he's saying hello.
Yeah, well, either or, as Cartwright now has it on the left wing. Got Ludford for company, who clears it out for the corner. I think that is the signal for Jacob Brennan. I think that
will be, yep.
Soon to come on, but we'll wait a minute or two for that. So I think they might wait for another out.
Hasn't played probably as much football as he would have liked this year, Ben Hamlet, so maybe just getting to the end of his tether here. He's certainly worked very hard up front for this South Hobart side today.
The only thing, it's just a fitness thing, as we see McCarthy with the ball in. Cartwright challenges, eventually pokes it home.
With a little toe poke.
With a little toe poke. Bit of a deflection off Morton. It's a bit of a scramble in the net. Trying to get the ball.
Just nutmegged the keeper potentially there too, as we hear the soprano go off in South Hobart again, and she is pretty upset by the sounds of that.
Francis Callan giving his little thing a bit of a twirl there, but not too much to celebrate at this point. A little more than a consolation marker at 6-2.
Will that go down as an own goal? I mean, it was heading
shot
in.
on target. That's a goal for Big Carters, and he's earned it because he's been their best player out there today.
And given an own goal, if you go down and tell Big Cartwright personally in the room's post game, Paul, that it's an own goal.
You're welcome to let him know.
How much do I get? As we see Benny Hamlet going off to a rousing, sometimes standing ovation here in the grand old Darcy Street grandstand. Big hug from Ken as well. And Jacob Brennan.
And I have to say, I love seeing a big dirty smirk on a player's face when they are getting subbed, because usually they're pretty angry about it, and this bloke's just got a big old grin on his face when he's walked off, because he's got a hat-trick. Why wouldn't he be smiling?
A hat-trick in a demolition job of the previous ladder leaders. Doesn't get too much better than that for Hammer Time Hamlet. And don't forget, still big Albie Lazinski, who's just made his way back into the Challenge League, and he's back in training. He's a few weeks away, they feel, and
just see Walters cop a big boot there from Stevens too, and this is going to be in another quite threatening spot here for South Hobart.
But and a couple of signings from interstate also set to be on the way for South Hobart. They're only going to get stronger. This has been a real signal of intent.
Kobe Kemp, but nothing doing. Caught us all by surprise there.
He led to sign from, it's only the transfer between clubs, isn't it?
Yeah, they can still go from interstate. And I expect there might be a couple more into the South Hobart camp in coming weeks.
Where?
So
where are they going to fit?
Where do they need to improve this team at the moment?
Well, that's
Frankly,
the thing.
I can't pick a position. They've just brought.
Oh, Kobe Kemp, if you don't mind, just saunters around Vandermeer and then tries to catch Cole, who slips. And it's wide of the mark. That was not the best time to be losing your footing there from Cole, but it matters not. As he sees it wide of the mark, but that was nearly 7. And it could have got even better for this South Hobart crowd. Not being Cole's best display, probably been the best keeper in the league this year, but a struggle today. And still, the South Hobart Dogger Brown, he might be injured, but he's been up and about on the bench today, appealing for every throw-in. The enthusiasm there. He'd be loving that from his boys as the mountain ranges forward here.
I love it that Dogger Brown's worn the boots just in case, even though he's not on the team sheet.
Cartwright barging in with Quayle.
Injury or no injury, he'd get out there and have a go.
Fair to say, Ludford has stepped in, done a pretty good job in his stead. As the Biz throws to Jimmy Mack.
So the news of just calmly done there from Cole too, when they're in a little bit of trouble there, the Olympia Warriors. Just sitting in an offside position there, Walter, so they couldn't play it through to him as Cartwright looks to get things going again, but it's another good summation of their day pretty much here from Olympia.
I'd say it's a good representation of their passing accuracy today there.
So, yeah, you're mentioning that there could be some new signings being brought in for this South Hobart team, Andrew. So what kind of players do we even know if they're looking at? Because frankly, I can't see how they're going to slot a player into either this defence or midfield, which has been absolutely extraordinary. They've got Lazinski coming back, Hamlet in stellar form up top for them.
Dogger Brown on the bench.
Dogger Brown's on the bench. Walter's been probably their best player this year in a very quality team. I mean, where do you fit in these imports that are supposed to be coming in?
Well, the bench, I suppose that I think never a bad thing to have extra options in the squad. Injuries are always going to occur, but look, I'm just saying, South Hobart are only going to get stronger. And it is still 0-0 at Valley Road after 80 minutes. So this could be the dream round for South Hobart. They couldn't have scripted it much better than this. Zebras getting knocked off last night.
He had a big look there, Walter, with the keeper a long way off his line. He wanted to one-up Danny Cohen there, I think.
Cole was nowhere near his box there. You see McCarthy playing it forward. Nice touch. Clenage battling away again with Thomas. Does well this time, but not too much forward momentum gained as we see Vandermeer exchange passes with Undy. Again, now played inside and Cartwright leaves the boot in, and Morton v Cole safely headed away from Cole there. Nice play there from Morton. aware of where he was and put the keeper under enough pressure.
Stayed on side quite well too. I think it might have been Vandermeer playing him on just there.
He's switching off at the back there a little, and Gorry's in, well, not surprisingly, no
Can't
hurry.
even say that they've really been switched on at the back today,
well,
Olympia,
yeah.
in all fairness.
That's a pretty fair comment as we see Gorry taking his time with the throw-in and plays it short to Morton, who plays it back to Gorry. Didn't quite get the purchase on that he wanted, but the ball falls to Luke Farrell, who whip it into the centre. Alex Walter with the header. Couldn't quite be controlled, but just played to Thomas. Calmly does. He does best and play it forward. Morton touches it out wide to Gorry, but something a bit short. Good pressure though from the marauding right back. So the ball played back into Luke Farrell.
Gone a little bit quiet here at South Hobart at the moment, just coming towards the last 10 minutes of what has really been a goal fest for these fans, and I have to say they've probably just about used up all their dopamine screaming for these beautiful goals here today.
Oh, it's been almost 15 minutes since their last one. They're probably wondering what's going on. Well, there's the 7th.
The heckling might start soon.
The Bronx, perhaps?
Just as long as we don't hear that bloody soprano horn.
Can assure you if the Warriors score, you will. So.
Yeah, every time you see Ludford. Keeps the ball in play. That's a nice turn from Gorry. Probably look inside, but Cartwright cuts it out. He's got Undy streaming forward. Goes to find him, but that man again, Thomas.
He's been very good today.
I mean, with a scoreline like this, you'd expect a striker to get man of the match, but Thomas has been an absolute rock in defence today.
Yeah, and I think from memory, it was Glenage turning Ludford for their first goal, and I don't think you can really blame Oscar Thomas for what occurred with Cartwright's second for the Warriors either.
I agree with that.
He certainly had a very stellar game at the back.
Yeah, best on going to be a tough one. There's plenty of South Hobart players who've put their hands up today. I think I'd probably lean for maybe the Mortog or Turner.
So.
I think the midfield was the catalyst for this, and I think they've both been outstanding.
I think I'd give it to the Mortog here today. He's just been absolutely incredible again. True box-to-box player.
He's been at the top of his game in recent weeks, and he's helping them ascend it back up the table. And he's been fantastic, Nick Morton. And a good midfield mix, I think, with Luke Farrell and Jack Turner as Cole chips this one. Flicked on by the Biz. And Ludford is getting there eventually and plays it out off Altman to win the throw cleverly. Just some savvy play there from the old Warhorse.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're doing a 3-2-1, you'd have to put Hamlet in there somewhere, but I will concur. The gentleman alongside me, that midfield battle in the first 25 minutes was crucial in setting up this game, and certainly helps give the tide going towards South Hobart as Cartwright's pressured by two South Hobart players, but gets the ball out nicely. Bit of a heavy touch from Allen.
I have to say too, it's been a much improved performance from Olympia in the second half. It really actually has been to actually get 2 goals on the board. Granted, they've conceded another 2, but on aggregate, you'd have to say that it hasn't been an awful half for them.
No, it's certainly not as bad as the first half, as we see Alex Walter jogging off
For Cook.
Another
nice round of applause here from Walter.
Another lively display from a man who has been absolute dynamite this season for South Hobart. He's been their best attacking weapon. He's been good again as Cook replaces him. What can the chef conjure up here in the final few minutes?
Conjure up, Cook up, mate. Come on, you've missed a bloody good opportunity there.
You see Hill putting the ball in a more familiar position to him at centre back. Launches it. And it's actually relatively well won.
Yes, Quayle.
Surprised by Quayle just clattering into the Biz. Holding strong and winning the throw-in eventually. There's just getting a little score check here from up at Valley Road. Still the same there.
Still 0-0 after 85 minutes.
South Hobart will be in dreamland if that scoreline stays the same.
Very much so. And slightly better news for the Warriors in the women's side of things, beating Taruna 2-1 in the Super League.
Oh, that's a foul throw.
That was an interesting technique. Very suspect, that one, I reckon, Quayle.
No, I've got nothing wrong with it. No point being pedantic about it.
Well, it's 6-2, 84th minute.
Yeah.
No need for this pedantry.
It was a huge
It
foul
was a
throw,
huge
though.
foul throw.
Just seemed like he was trying to bowl the flipper there to me.
Yeah, that was absolutely it. Shades of Warney about that one.
See what he does this time. I'm assuming he's going to steal the obligatory 10 yards that everyone does when they take the throw in. Yeah, he's done pretty well there.
Beautiful with that one.
That's a better technique. Not quite better trajectory though, as we see Undy knock it round and himself and then lump forward. In an awkward area. Cole takes it inside as well though and looks to launch it long to Allen.
Good distribution.
I'll say quite the good throw. It unfortunately didn't quite settle for Allen, and Gorry will just pick the ball up, play it to Mike Farrell, back to Gorry. Just slightly mispassed on Gorry. Just a bit of the sting taken out of this match. Olympia not pressing as quickly as they were earlier. I've seen Jacob Cole have a few touches here this half, certainly playing sweeper keeper as J-Mac picks it up but is immediately hounded from Turner and Morton, and that is Exhibit A is why we were talking them up as best on ground today. Harassing everything.
They've taken apart what Kenny Weston's got this Olympia side playing like really today, South Hobart, you have to say, because there's just been an utter insistence from Olympia in playing out at the back, and they simply haven't been able to match what has been some incredible midfield pressure from this South Hobart side.
Siege Clenage win that, and Cathy looking played early, but Hugh Undy throwing well offside, and the keeper didn't hold on to that a bit longer. Still looking to press forward for a seventh for South Hobart as Mortog picks it up down in this corner, and Stevens and Cole not communicating terribly well. Eventually they sort it out, and Cole looks to clear it, but right in the direction of Morton. Cartwright trying to go through Morton rather than around him, and Morton's pulled up with a bit of cramp. Just thumped clear in the end from Stevens, I think that was. There's the chef barging through. As we tick over in 87th minute of this match.
Almost be time to get the lights on.
Yeah, it is getting a bit dark up here.
A little bit dull. But, I think the Warriors would like it if it could obscure the scoreboard. Not something they'd want to be reading. It's been an absolute thumping today. South Hobart have been tremendous. What a statement this was. There was plenty made of the build-up into this game.
Pretty sure I said 6-2 at the start of the game to South Hobart, didn't I, boys?
Yes. I think the exact quote was, I'm flipping my tip and tipping the Warriors or something like that.
Yeah.
I believe it was. I'm going to contradict everything I've said and tip the Warriors.
Yeah, good true South Hobart fan that you are, Jake.
You're a liar.
Yeah, real lack of faith from the local.
I'm not having that.
No true believers up here, don't you, Warriors? The Biz will get on this one. And chink inside, run into Jack Turner though. And now the Cook puts it over the top. Cole can collect.
A little bit there for Turner.
Yeah, just if he's going for the medium rare, he's gone well done. Now, it's still 0-0 up at Valley Road. I don't know if Jamie's just not updating it or if nothing's happening, but
I'll tell you what, that exchange between McCarthy and Quayle is about the most friendly affair I've seen between these two groups of players so far today. They smiled at each other, would you believe it?
Just asking if they're going to hit the town tonight together as we see the ball played forward through Brennan, who's got the hill for company. Just asking, where will I meet you tonight? Your place or mine? You see Quayle. See how his throw-in technique is here. It's pretty good. So he played forward. Brennan ends up with it. Plays it back to Quayle. And he's absolutely sold Stevens down the river there. See that coming a mile away.
Nah. Good decision from the referee there.
Saying,
I think he's called that very well. If we just have a look at the little jump here from Quayle. Where is it? There it is. So, very good officiating there, despite the protestations from the local crowd here today.
You're in the wrong job, Jay. You need to be a long jump adjudicator rather than a commentator. You see Morton puts a low ball in, eventually cleared from the Biz.
No, the jump is the dead giveaway.
So a corner here as we tick towards full time at Darcy Street.
Probably not the best delivery there from the Warthog, and I'm a bit surprised that he's looking to take the corner.
Devonport have pulled out a late goal to go 1-0 ahead and ascend to the top of the table as the Warthog Morton just gets shoved there, and he'll have a free kick, which is going to practically be a
he's
corner.
having a bit of fun out there, isn't he? Having a little pose on the corner flag down here.
Ever the showman. So Devonport leading 1-0. Which means South Hobart won't ascend to the top of the table with this thumping victory. They will, in fact, be second.
I'd certainly be a bit devo about that one down here.
We see the short corner taken again, and Morton is looking to sit on it. Plays it to Kemp, who actually puts it in the box. Leaping header.
Not even a groan, boys. Just a scoff. Not happy with you.
Leaping header from Thomas, who if one person deserves a goal today, it would be him. See Cole slipping as he takes the goal kick, still getting his usual purchase on it. I don't think I've seen him in a goal kick over halfway so far today. Turner picks it up, plays it back to Thomas. Over the head of the chef, who will keep it in play, but going to the advantage of Olympia. Forward to Sklenage and Thomas again. Again, Cook on it. Kemp in most advanced, and we see Jack Turner running through, almost trying to win the penalty there, but no luck. Allen well defended and sent to the back post, where a centre mid like Jack Turner would usually be running in, but unfortunately he was on the ball, and Carthy picks it up.
Held it up really well there, Turner, I thought. Just pity that there wasn't quite anybody else looking to get forward there for South Hobart. So we just see Hill played out wide to Stevens. Stevens looks up to Sklenage, but well read by Ludford. Hill gets in ahead, plays a bit of a high boot there,
and he's on a yellow.
I think
that's
he's got to
about
go.
His third foul lost
I think
on that yellow.
He's really got to go right here. You can hear the kids of South Hobart here behind me. They want him gone. They want him out of here.
He's sympathising.
Just a little bit of a handshake, and the ref said you can play next week, and I don't think the kids are too happy behind me. They're baying for blood here today.
That is, as we have a look at that on the replay, he's looked to control it. And I mean, that is a foul of not quite of Nigel Geong proportions, but it's certainly a cheese.
So perhaps lucky to get away with that one there, the big mountain, and at least be available next week. That really would have been just getting the salt canister opened up and just pouring in the gaping wound there if he would have been rubbed out.
He stood by the mountain, and the mountain chopped him down with the edge of his hand.
As jinking through the middle is the chef, broken up by the aforementioned Hill. Cartwright, McCarthy, Undy. McCarthy punches it forward for an overlapping right winger who's not there.
And Sklenage says, why make me chase that down? I've been doing that for 90 minutes already, as Ludford picks it up, and McCarthy ended up chasing down his own through ball then. See the chef.
And Luke Farrell forward there for Kobe
They want
Kemp.
another one out here, don't they, the South Hobart fans? Kemp jinks one way, looks to Cook. What can he cook up here? It's a great ball to Turner, but well read by Cole, and they're going to get it going quickly. They want to make it 6-3. They want their consolation goal here, the Olympia Warriors. They start to stream forward, but a bit of pace just goes out of that attack, and they'll play it back to Cole here as we enter what is probably the last minute of this 90.
A look at the watch from Copper.
A foul. Blowing up for the foul instead.
Yeah,
to the
there you go.
chagrin of Allen. Van der May
whacks it crossfield across to Turner, who just heads it to Hill, who probably should not be on the pitch. He looks up. Did have an overlapping run, but well intercepted by Gorry, and it's played back. Hill gets it again, and certainly willing to slide into the challenges. He doesn't give a damn if he won't be playing next week, the big mountain.
And there it is, full time at Darcy Street, South Hobart with a thumping victory over the Olympia Warriors. It's a tennis score, 6-2. We thought it was going to be a close one. Not to be. The hosts have dominated the contest and jumped up into second on the table with the most commanding of victories. They did the damage early on. It was 4-0 at half-time. The Warriors improved in the second half, but it was game over long before then. Could this be a decisive day in the 2017 title race Olympia.
They've knocked them off twice now, haven't they?
2 from 2, and they jump up above them. It'll be the Devonport Strikers on top of the table, the defending champions on top, but today very much about South Hobart.
All smiles, and I think we'll all be concurring that our best on player today is probably the Morthog, Nick Morton. What a performance. It had everything really, didn't it? Defending, attacking, contributing in all regards there from Nick Morton, and helped himself to 2 goals while he was at it. Marvellous display.
That finish of his second goal probably just puts him over Jack Turner for mine as man of the match. I thought both of them there in centre mid were absolutely fantastic.
It's a towering header from
Yes.
Jack Turner too. Wasn't that a marvellous delivery from Quayle out there as well? And let us not forget the efforts of Benjamin Hamlet with a hat-trick. What a wonderful performance from this South team.
Probably the most least talked about hat-trick of some time there from Penny Hamlet.
It's over from the penalty spot.
Yeah.
But he was very good today. Winners across the park for South Hobart. They were absolutely superb. And that's a big statement victory. Maybe, just maybe, title favouritism has shifted off the result of this.
Fine, I love to see it.
We'll leave you with the goals on a famous victory for South Hobart. They continue their dominance over the Warriors, who've got some soul-searching to do. Kenny Weston with a lot of work to do. We'll leave you with the doof-doof. I think Asher's given me the Oscars acceptance speech treatment there. Pleasure calling this one with you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
We'll be back next
Good to be
week.
here.
Makes it 3-0 South Hobart. Smashing the Warriors. This is a shellacking, boys.
It is an absolute shellacking here. Penny Hamlet, just a nice kiss on the forehead there to Alex Walter.
And I have to say,
Well
I love
deserved.
it. Oh, an absolute intervention there to keep his side at 3-0 when really it would have been curtains if they had a
Just
go
slip
at
there
this.
as we go back to live play. Morton, 1-on-1. And that is 4-0 to South Hobart. The crowd cannot quite believe it. Morton giving it to the crowd, and that came from absolutely nothing. Sorry to interrupt you there, Jake Morgan, but I saw Cartwright slip over him.
Thomas now continues to jink inside. It looks to Burns. Plays it through Sklanage and Undy. Sklanage again. He's clear here, and he's just buried it. Gives them just a little bit of hope here to try and bring it back from 4-1.
There's life in this match.
Yes.
Yes, Sklanage with his first shot of the game, the first bit of time and space he's had in the box, and what do you know, it's in the corner, and space here for McCarthy, but just as he hit the pass straight to Morton, who plays a nice one too. Got time, shoots Morton, what a finish from Nick Morton. Kick that one out, he said. That's 5-1 South Hobart. Comes right in front of both grandstands. Absolutely loving it.
Now we'll see Benny Hamlet stepping up to see if he can wrap up his hat-trick. Here he comes. And there he is. Calm as a cucumber, as some would say. You just see him strike that into the far side of the net, and beautifully done there from Benny Hamlet. Calm and gets the hat-trick.
Well, they've hit him for 6.